The following is a production of Hometown and Home Country Radio Sports.
Hardline drive by Garrigan, one hop to second base, and it gets through! It gets through into right field. Garrigan takes the lead. Trainer scores. Here comes Heliseth. 3-1 Golden Bears. Thompson stealing. Furch is going to throw through. It's a great throw, and they got him at second base. Tate Furch does it again. 2-2 pitch. Schwab ground ball up the middle, and that one's going to sneak through into center field for a base hit. Here comes Furch. 5-2 Bishop Garrigan. Bags are full. Lappy winds. 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss for strike three. The Golden Bears hang on in Forest City.
Video streaming on the Algona Radio YouTube channel is brought to you by Algona Municipal Utilities, community owned for community benefit. Kemna Auto Center, where it's not just about the car, it's about the care. Iowa State Bank, helping people succeed. PMC Advantage Insurance Services, having the advantage makes all the difference. And Algona Frame and Auto Body, we meet by accident. Now, here's Hometown and Home Country Radio Sports Director, Tyler Lance.
Live in Mason City, Iowa, it's a rematch of the 2024 Sub-State Final, as tonight, the Bishop Garrigan Golden Bears say hello to the Newman Catholic Knights on Hometown Radio KLGA and at the Algona Radio YouTube live stream. Good evening once again, everyone, on an overcast night here in Mason City, as tonight, it's top of Iowa West versus top of Iowa East. The 10-5 Bishop Garrigan Golden Bears visiting the 14-5 and number 9 ranked in Class 1A Newman Catholic Knights in a rematch of last year's Sub-State Final. Always an interesting battle when these two teams meet. Bishop Garrigan and Newman Catholic, of course, we get to see it once in the regular season, and a lot of years we get to see it once in the postseason as well. The Golden Bears have always been a very solid baseball program, but time after time, Newman Catholic's been that stumbling block, standing in the way in the postseason, and that was the case last year as well. Bishop Garrigan came into the Sub-State Final ranked number 9 in the state, but they ran into number 3 ranked Newman Catholic, battled them, but ultimately Newman Catholic blew it open late in a 10-3 loss. Today the stakes are a little bit lower, but a regular season game in which the Bishop Garrigan Golden Bears are trying to continue on their excellent stretch of play as of late. Golden Bears won Monday night at Eagle Grove with an impressive 8-2 win. Got some great pitching by Carter Schwab, and the bats are slowly starting to round out the form, but it's always difficult when you face a pitching staff that has a sub-2 ERA like Newman Catholic does. So definitely one of these non-conference games where, yes, it doesn't count for the final conference standings, but it certainly means a lot for these two teams as far as pride and emotion heading into the postseason, because as we know, these two teams have a way of meeting each other later on in the year a lot of the time. So going to be a good one tonight. Bishop Garrigan taking on Newman Catholic, as Brady Galligan will toe the rubber for the Bishop Garrigan Golden Bears, going up against Jace Anderson for the Newman Catholic Knights. Speaking of which, let's get into the starting lineups for tonight's game. First, for the visiting Bishop Garrigan Golden Bears, it'll be Tate Furch, the catcher, batting leadoff. Dan Mice at shortstop tonight, hitting second. Carter Schwab, the first baseman, batting third. Brady Galligan pitching tonight and batting cleanup. Nick Lear, who homered last night, playing center field and batting fifth. Aiden Deitring at third base, batting sixth. Nate Lear will be the designated hitter that is tonight. He will bat seventh, and he will bat in the place of the second baseman, Caden Graves. Drew Moeller in right field will hit eighth, and Thad Kolash in left field batting ninth. For the Newman Catholic Knights, the home team in tonight's game, they will lead things off with their shortstop, Cal McGuire. Batting second and playing center field is Isaiah Keston. Gage Peterson catches tonight and bats third. West Cole, the designated hitter, will bat fourth, as he will bat for the pitcher, Jace Anderson. Tegan Eisenlohr at first base hitting fifth. Colin Bliley in right field batting sixth. Thomas McGuire at third base hitting seventh. Adam Henrich at second base hitting eighth. And Alex Egger in left field batting ninth. Well, they say iron sharpens iron, and no better way to do that than tonight, with two very good teams going at it tonight. Bishop Garrigan, the two-time defending top of Iowa West champion, taking on Newman Catholic, who last year shared the top of Iowa East title of St. Ansgar, and right now they're engaged in another battle of St. Ansgar for that top of Iowa East crown. Newman, though, right now currently leading the conference with a perfect mark in conference play. So here in Mason City, we're going to be hoping to hold off the rain tonight. It seems the forecast has changed hour by hour throughout the course of today, but as of right now, the rain has held off. We do have overcast skies. We're hoping that just stays the case. Just overcast and no precipitation, at least in the next 2 hours or so, while we're getting this baseball game in. We'll break for a quick timeout. When we come back, it'll be the first pitch between the Bishop Garrigan Golden Bears and Newman Catholic Knights on Hometown Radio KLGA and at the Algona Radio YouTube live stream.
When you need cash on the go, there's no need to pay a surcharge fee with MoneyPass. Iowa State Bank is proud to be part of the MoneyPass network of surcharge-free ATMs found nationwide. Look for the green and blue MoneyPass symbol on over 32,000 ATMs across the nation. Or find an ATM near your vacation spot or travel destination at moneypass.com. MoneyPass, another way that Iowa State Bank helps people succeed. Member FDIC. For over 40 years, Northwest Iowa bone, joint, and sports surgeons have maintained one mission: to provide excellence in orthopedic care. Their team of 9 physicians offers specialized care in everything from arthroscopic same-day surgery to joint replacement, as well as hand and foot surgery, and have an orthopedic surgeon on call 24/7. Healthcare isn't about appointments, it's about taking care of people, and that's their specialty. Visit Northwest Iowa Bone, Joint, and Sports Surgeons on the web at nwiabone.com.
We've got more Sports Club members making this broadcast possible on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
Algona Frame and Auto Body. We meet by accident.
Water Connection, from softeners to bottled water and service. Call 295-SOFT.
Algona Pizza Ranch. There's so much to love.
Cotton Gray Farm Management and Land Realty, downtown Algona. Trusted for farmland service needs since 1960.
Algona Livestock. Sales every Monday.
Countryside Barbecue Sauce. 2 sauces for all seasons.
All bringing you this broadcast on the radio.
High school sports on Hometown and Home Country Radio, brought to you by these fine Sports Club members.
Central Financial Group, where you belong.
Down to Earth Tree Service, your local Algona Tree Service.
Styles Salon, your salon in Algona. Create yourself.
Farm and Home Services. View their listings at farmhomeservices.com.
Holmes Animal Clinic, animals large and small. They love them all.
Dance Connection and Tumbling by Michelle. Passionate about teaching, creative about dance. Visit their studio or danceconnectionbymichelle.com.
All bringing you this ball game.
We've got more Sports Club members making this broadcast possible on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
TAFE Wellness Center in Algona and Armstrong, keeping athletes in the game with chiropractic care. Take charge of your health.
Lichter's Garage Door Service and new installations. A reputation you can trust. Call 515-295-5988.
Ed Service Station. Service you can trust.
J&J Custom Meats, continuing the traditions in Whittemore.
Ulrich Construction. Let them do the work.
Sports Club members bringing you this game.
Hey Golden Bear fans, this is Brady Garrigan, and you're listening to Bishop Garrigan Baseball on KLGA.
And we welcome you back to Mason City, Iowa, where the Bishop Garrigan Golden Bears take on the Newman Catholic Knights tonight on Hometown Radio, KLGA, and at the Algona Radio YouTube stream. Our video stream presented in part by Chem Auto Center, where it's not just about the car, it's about the care. Algona Municipal Utilities, community-owned for community benefit. Iowa State Bank, helping people succeed. Algona Frame and Auto Body, we meet by accident. And PMC Advantage Insurance Services, having the advantage makes all the difference. The road team tonight, the Bishop Garrigan Golden Bears, coming off a 10-5 overall record as they knocked off Eagle Grove last night 8-2. Newman Catholic, home team tonight, have a 14-5 overall record and the number 9 ranking in Class 1A as they were able to defeat West Fork yesterday by a final count of 7-5. Leading things off for Bishop Garrigan, it'll be Tate Furch, Dan Mice, and Carter Schwab in the top half of inning number 1. And they will go up against the senior pitcher, Jace Anderson. Now, Anderson for Newman Catholic has pitched in 5 games this season, 4 of them starts. His record 1-2, but he's pitched a lot better than his record would indicate. Just a 1.52 ERA for Anderson, as opponents are batting .205 against him. Anderson has thrown 23 innings as he has struck out 11 batters and walked 11 for Newman Catholic. Now, he has given up 14 runs this season, but only 5 out of those 14 are earned, hence the 1.52 ERA. And he will face a Bishop Garrigan lineup that has been inconsistent at times this season, but we are slowly but surely starting to see signs of them taking steps forward. The team batting average on the year for Bishop Garrigan is .243, but they hit well last night at Eagle Grove, picked up the conference win, and they'll look to continue that momentum here tonight against Newman Catholic. Tate Furch, right in the middle of everything, getting ready to start things off for the Golden Bears, who tonight wore the black uniforms, the script Garrigan on the front, underlined in gold and outlined in white. It is the gray uniform pants, the black and gold stripe down the side, and the gold numerals front and back, outlined in yellow for Bishop Garrigan. Newman Catholic, almost cream-colored uniforms. It has the maroon N on the left chest. the cream-colored pants as well, with the maroon stripe down the side, maroon numbers front and back, and they have the maroon hat with the white N on the front of it. It's an overcast night, 75 degrees for our first pitch in tonight's ball game, and that American flag out in left field is blowing straight in from that area, so the balls hitting the air to left field are definitely going to be knocked down a little bit here tonight. It's not a huge breeze, but definitely enough where you notice it out with that left field flag. Anderson completing his warm-up tosses right now for the Newman Catholic Knights, as they were a state qualifier last year. For the second time in 3 seasons, they defeated Bishop Garrigan in the sub-state final. Last year, a 10-3 win over the Golden Bears. In the 2022 season, it was also a sub-state final between these teams, as Newman Catholic came out on top in that game, 2-0 behind the stellar pitching of Doug Taylor. Tate Furch starting things off for Bishop Garrigan. The junior catcher, right-handed batter, hitting .255. 5 runs knocked in on the season. Bats out of an upright and squared right-handed stance. Anderson stretching the pitch as Furch pops it high in the air, third base side. That one is curving into foul territory, but it's playable as Anderson makes the catch, and Furch retired on the first pitch pop out. Again, our game time temperature tonight, 75 degrees here in Mason City, Iowa. And Furch, a quick out there on the first pitch, got right after that first offering from Anderson, who works exclusively from the stretch, and retired on the first pitch pop up as Dan Mice, tonight's starting shortstop, stands in. The senior batting .256 with a .310 on-base percentage. 7 RBI in the season for Mice, who hits about halfway up in that right-handed box. Newman Catholic straight up in the outfield as Mice out on his front foot on that pitch for strike one as he swings and misses. Defensively for Newman Catholic, it's Peterson behind home plate, Thomas McGuire at third, Cal McGuire at short, it's Henrich at second base, and Eisenlohr at first. Pitch to Mice, down and away for a ball as that one skips in the dirt. In the outfield, it is Ager, Keston, and Bliley left to right for the Newman Catholic Knights. Behind home plate, pretty healthy-sized foul territory. As the kick and the pitch by Anderson, Mice swinging and Mice missing as he foul-tipped, actually, that ball into the glove of the catcher Peterson, and the count goes to 1-2 on the Bishop Garrigan senior. There is a reduction in the foul territory because the first and third base dugouts kind of jut out into foul territory a little bit, but then that foul territory opens back up in the shallow part of the outfield. Mice, way out on his front foot of the breaking ball, dribbles that one foul third base side, and the count 1-2 on the Bishop Garrigan senior. Well, early indications on Anderson, he's going to mix velocities a lot and pitch backwards a little bit. We're seeing some early breaking balls in the count, even some early changeups, and then he'll go to the fastball after that, but he'll use the off-speed pitches to set everything up. Anderson fires, and that fastball is upstairs for a ball, a 2-2 count. It's kind of a sneaky velocity for Anderson. He has this calm and controlled delivery on the pitching mound, but all of a sudden, that fastball has just this late explosion on it, and it gets on top of you when he does use it. Anderson, hands just above the belt, 2-2 pitch to Mice. A wave and a miss for strike 3. He snuck the fastball past him, and it's 2 up, 2 down to begin the top of the first inning for Bishop Garrigan. Batter now for the Bishop Garrigan Golden Bears is going to be Carter Schwab, and boy, is he on a tear as of late. Schwab's season batting average now .304 with a .421 on-base percentage. Of course, had the walk-off double on Friday night, the 2-run game winner against Lake Mills. But really, the past 2 weeks, Carter Schwab has been excellent in that number 3 spot as he hits towards the front of that box. Batting against Anderson of 2 outs and nobody on as Anderson tried the fastball that time, but it missed to Schwab, 1-0 count. And of course, Schwab was a good hitter in past seasons as well for the Golden Bears, the left-handed hitting junior. But it seems like the past couple of weeks, as the pitch to Schwab, fastball sails upstairs for a ball, 2-0 count. The singles have been turning into doubles and triples, and we're really seeing that power potential for Schwab start to materialize. Of course, that ball off the wall against Lake Mills was just one of the examples, but a couple of booming triples in the outfield at Target Field in Minneapolis. As Schwab grounds the ball towards first base, it stays in fair territory. Eisenlohr grabs, he throws to first base, foot race, and Anderson just beat Schwab to the bag. Bang, bang play at first base, but Anderson just got there in time. Really nice play by Eisenlohr to end the first inning. Golden Bears go down quietly, 1-2-3, and Newman Catholic will bat next on Hometown Radio KLGA and at the Algona Radio YouTube live stream.
More sports club members.
Lusher Family Dentistry, serving your family since 1965 on Call Street in Algona.
Algona Plumbing and Heating, where a good flush beats a full house.
Kasuth Regional Health Center, your home for health care.
Walker Chiropractic and Wellness, caring for Algona, Sway City, and surrounding areas with chiropractic, nutritional, and physical therapy services.
Reeves Wicked Good Bar and Grill, for wicked good food, drinks, and service, you've got to go to Reeves.
High Point Land Company, your trusted land partner in Algona.
All bringing you this game on the radio.
Thank you to these sports club members bringing you this game on Hometown Home Country Radio.
CB Grain Solutions, satisfaction guaranteed.
Dump It, Kasuth County's local and reliable waste service provider for commercial and residential customers.
Albert Electric, flip the switch to Albert Electric.
Billy Offerman, your State Farm agent in Algona. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Greg Penning and Company, certified public accountants where everyone counts.
Daylight Donuts, open early with delicious donuts and great coffee.
All bringing you this game on the radio.
Hey Golden Bear fans, this is Tate Furch, and you're listening to Bishop Garrigan Baseball on KLGA.
Bottom of the first inning from Newman Catholic High School as senior Brady Garrigan finishes up his warm-up tosses for the Golden Bears. Garrigan making his 7th appearance on the mound of the season, his 5th start. Right now, Garrigan's record, 3 wins and 2 losses. His ERA is .259. Garrigan of 27 strikeouts and 17 walks in 24 1/3 innings. Opponents batting .202 against the Bishop Garrigan right-handed pitcher. And boys, the Golden Bear pitching been clicking so far this season. A 1.53 team ERA for Bishop Garrigan, number 2 in Class 1A, as Newman Catholic will start things off with Cal McGuire. The shortstop, right-handed batter, takes the first pitch in the dirt for ball 1 as the bottom of the first inning gets underway. McGuire, the dangerous senior for Newman Catholic, batting .441, has 21 runs driven in this season. He has walked 17 times, and he has only struck out 9 in comparison. Pitch to McGuire. And that one's a little bit inside, moves the feet a bit there for McGuire, and the count 2 balls and no strikes. Bishop Garrigan behind home plate, it's Furch. Deitring at third base, Mice at shortstop, Graves at second, Schwab at first. As Garrigan misses downstairs for a ball and falls behind 3-0 early to the Newman Catholic leadoff hitter. Colash in left field, Lear in center, and Muller in right for Bishop Garrigan. McGuire back into that squared stance, bent knees as he will take that pitch inside and hits him. Obviously would have been ball 4 anyways, but the hit by pitch will put the early runner on base for Newman Catholic. And 1 out, or 1 on, I should say, if nobody out for Isaiah Keston. Keston, another senior for the Knights. .385 batting average and .459 on base percentage with 16 RBI in the season. Newman Catholic, they're hitting just the way they normally do with a .350 team batting average. Keston bats out of a very narrow right-handed stance. Those feet almost right together in that batter's box. Slide step in the pitch. Garrigan went breaking ball, and that's downstairs for a ball, 1-0 count. Garrigan has pitched quite well this season, but we have seen a couple of times that it's taken him a little bit to settle in, and against this Newman Catholic lineup, you just don't have time to settle in with the kind of power that they bring 1 through 9 in the batting order. Pitches upstairs for a ball, 2-0 count, and Tate Furch will wisely and quickly head out to the mound to talk things over with Brady Garrigan. Well, Newman on the season, they have played 19 games, and they've scored 163 runs. Like we said, a .350 team batting average, and they've homered 3 times on the season as well. They walk more than they strike out, 97 walks for their batters compared to just 92 Ks, as it is a 2-0 count right now on Isaiah Keston. They are a disciplined lineup. You are not going to get them to swing at a whole lot of pitches that are bad and out of the zone. Defensively for Bishop Garrigan, Schwab holds the runner McGuire at first base. Deitering, even if the bag at third, is squaring to bunts, pulling it back. That was a take all the way there for Keston. And it's a 3-0 count for Brady Garrigan as the ball gets thrown past the pitcher's mound, but Graves, the second baseman there, to back it up for Bishop Garrigan as McGuire does not advance. Newman Catholic, they've been a thorn in the side of the Golden Bears, something that Bishop Garrigan knows all too well. As Garrigan stretch in the pitch. The 3-0 is right over the plate for a called strike as Garrigan took a little off that one to make it 3-1. If you look at the varsity Bound era, our friends at Bound, they keep track of the matchups between teams over the years as Garrigan slides step in the 3-1. And he'll find his zone for a called strike as Keston was getting ready to discard the bat towards the third base dugout and now hit with a 3-2 count. Going back to 2010, Newman Catholic is 19-0 against Bishop Garrigan. 3-2 pitch, McGuire moving, and that one is fouled off. A little slice into the screen first base side, and we'll do it again at the 3-2 count as Keston goes back to first base. Gage Peterson on deck in the lineup of head coach Alex Bohl for the Knights. And Keston back into the box. He has widened that stance a little bit for the 3-2 count. In contact mode as Garrigan fires a pickoff to first base. And nothing doing as McGuire able to dive back in safely. Nobody out, 1 on for Newman Catholic. And already forcing Brady Garrigan to sweat here in the first inning. McGuire moving again, and that pitch misses for ball 4 as Furch guns it to second base. A beautiful throw, but it doesn't matter because pitch was out of the strike zone. A hit by a pitch and a walk to start things off, and Newman Catholic already threatening to throw the early punch here in inning number 1. Gage Peterson now to the plate. A .375 hitter of 2 homers and 11 runs driven in is Peterson. It is senior at the top of the Newman Catholic lineup. Peterson, another narrow right-handed batting stance. as that pitch almost hit him. That nearly loaded the bases. It almost grazed Peterson, but it missed him in the count 1-0. And now Coach Rob Meister will head out to the mound for Bishop Garrigan to talk things over with Mice. This is a relatively spacious outfield. They don't have the dimensions listed on the outfield wall, but that center field fence does appear to jut out a little bit, so it's a decently big gap in the left center and right center field areas here at Newman Catholic High School. So if you're a good gap-hitting team, line drives gap to gap, you can get a lot of doubles and even triples at this ballpark. And like I said, this is a pretty healthy foul territory. More so in the shallow outfield than the deep outfield, but even in the left and right field corners, there's definitely more foul territory than you have at Bishop Garrigan High School. So a ball right down the line, you've got to get on your horse and get after it if you're the outfielders. This outfield actually has a wooden fence starting in right field, going to right center, and then left field to left center before turning into a traditional chain link fence. That pitch is inside, and it drills Peterson. And Galligan out of control early in this ball game. He has hit 2 batters, he has walked 1, and exactly what you can't do against Newman Catholic. Bases loaded, nobody out for the Knights. We'll see if a courtesy runner comes in for the catcher Peterson, and Newman Catholic will indeed go for the courtesy runner. Hunter Gast, the 8th grader, will head to first base. So it's McGuire at third, Keston at second, Gast at first, and Wes Cole, the designated hitter, stepping in. Cole, the sophomore, batting .389, 1 homer and 20 runs driven in. And Newman Catholic has a chance to put a big hurting here on Bishop Garrigan in inning number 1. We'll see if Galligan can settle down. Galligan into the windup. He quick pitches Cole, and he puts a beautiful breaking ball over for a called strike. 0-1 count. You've got to be able to pitch backwards against this Newman Catholic lineup. Put that first pitch breaker over and not let them sit fastball, especially in a situation like this. Off-speed pitches up above the letters for a ball, and the count even at 1-1. Outfield straight up for Cole. Wind slightly blowing in from left field as Galligan rocks and he fires. Breaking ball line through the middle. 1 hop to second base for Graves. He flips to second for 1. The relay by Mice to first place. Double play. Run comes home to score for Newman Catholic. Boy, is that a big double play for Bishop Garrigan. You will take a damage-limiting play like that any day of the week. And all of a sudden, this huge threat becomes a little bit less after the 4-6-3 double play turned on West Cole. So McGuire comes home to score, and it's 1-0 Newman Catholic, but that is a very, very important double play for the Golden Bears. Keston now at third base, 2 outs, and the batter, Tegan Eisenlohr. Brady Galligan will go wind up with the runner at third base. Pitch to Eisenlohr, and another nice breaker in there for a strike, 0-1. Well, it took about 3 batters, but maybe Brady Galligan is starting to settle in and realize, I've got a good feel for that breaking pitch tonight. And that was a breaking pitch inside. It kicks towards the third base dugout, but Tate Furch on top of it quickly. No advance from third by Isaiah Keston. Eisenlohr, a right-handed hitting junior for Newman Catholic, .333 batting average, .436 on-base percentage, as he will keep that backhand up and make sure Galligan can't quick pitch him here as the Golden Bears like to work fast. Galligan wind down the pitch, sails that fastball up above the head for a ball, 2-1 count. Blindly on deck for Newman Catholic, Thomas McGuire in the hole, but Eisenlohr batting right now with 2 outs and a runner at third base. Knights on top 1-0. Eisenlohr badly fooled on the breaking ball that time. He had a healthy cut there, but he was geared up for the heat, and Mice gave him the off-speed junk. Count even, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Trying to minimize the damage here in inning 1 after Newman Catholic had the bases loaded with nobody outs. Eisenlohr widens the stance, and a breaking ball's in there for a called strike 3, and Brady Galligan minimizes the damage. It's 1-0 Newman Catholic, but that could have been a lot worse. We move to the second on Hometown Radio KLGA and at the Oklahoma Radio YouTube live stream.
High school sports on Hometown and Home Country Radio, brought to you by these fine sports club members.
Signworks Inc. For all your signage needs and printed apparel, stop in or call 295-9544.
New Way K&H Co-op, delivering exceptional value through knowledge and innovation.
West Bend Ford, meeting your service, new and used vehicle needs.
Tom Eischen Sales, your store in the country, carrying Steel and Toro products and Green Mountain pellet grills.
PMC Advantage Insurance Services, insuring our neighbors for over 80 years.
All sponsors of this game broadcast. High school sports on Hometown and Home Country Radio, brought to you by these fine sports club members.
American Glass. For all your glass needs, think American.
Farm Bureau Financial Agents Dave Beisch, Daniel Foth, and Michael Tull.
Chemco Tires. They're all you need to know about tires and service.
Wykirk Realtors, the 515 Agency, a fresh approach to real estate.
Grassmasters. Growing satisfied customers.
Iowa Lakes Community College, your community, your college.
Glenn's Green Thumb. From a small seed, something beautiful will grow.
All bringing you this game on the radio.
As we come back to Newman Catholic High School, it'll be 4, 5, and 6 in the Bishop Garrigan batting order with Brady Galligan, Nick Lear, and Aiden Deitering. The score right now, 1-0 in favor of Newman Catholic as the run scores on the 4-6-3 double play, but Bishop Garrigan gets out of the first inning without too much damage after the bases were loaded on 2 hit by pitches and 1 walk to start the game. Back to work goes Jace Anderson for Newman Catholic with the 1-0 lead as Brady Galligan steps into the plate for Bishop Garrigan. Galligan batting .312, and he's been another guy who has really hit the ball well over the past couple of weeks. Kick and the pitch. That's a fastball, maybe a bit above the letters for a ball, and it's a 1-0 count on Brady Galligan. This Golden Bear lineup comes into the game with a .243 batting average. The kick and the pitch. And Galligan pops it high in the air, first base side foul, and that one is going to head out onto the street behind this Newman Catholic ballpark. But if you look at the Golden Bear lineup, up and down, 1 through 9, only 5 out of their 9 regulars are hitting above 200, and that's something that's got to go up for the Golden Bears to have a competitive postseason run as Galligan watches the breaking pitch go down and away for a ball, 2-1 count. And that's not all going to change in one night, but like I said earlier, we're starting to see some signs of things stepping forward little by little for the Golden Bears. Stretch and the 2-1 pitch. Anderson caught the letters of that one for a called strike. Galligan thought that was the same as the first one that was called out of the zone, but count will even. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Right now, Bishop Garrigan has the pitching to win big, but you're just looking for consistency from that lineup as there's a little flare, shallow right center field, dropping in a hurry, and it's base hit for Brady Galligan. Little soft liner into the right center field gap, and the Golden Bears have their first base runner of the game as Galligan will hold that first base of a single, and his excellent hitting as of late continues. Had a couple of base hits against Lake Mills on Friday night, a couple of hits yesterday in that 8-2 win over Eagle Grove, and it's 1 on with nobody out for Nick Lear, the center fielder. Speaking of the game yesterday against Eagle Grove, Lear went deep for his first home run of the season. He's now batting .413, the leading average on the team, 1 homer and 8 RBI. The tall center fielder batting out of that wide stance in the box. Anderson checks on the runner at first base, but Galligan goes back out of a dive. First hit of the ball game by either side, that little flare to shallow right center field. In what is a pretty big outfield as far as the gaps are concerned. Pitch to Lear and a cut and a miss for a strike, 0-1 count. Anderson has been elevating that fastball so far in this game, and up to this point, the Golden Bears have either taken it or they have not caught up yet. Even early in this game, Anderson just mixes his speed so well as Lear's back into the box, and Anderson with the 0-1, and Lear swings and misses again. Boy, he has gone after 2 high fastballs there for Anderson, and you're just not getting on top of that pitch if you're Nick Lear. That is going to be a very hard pitch to make contact on. We'll see if Anderson elevates the next pitch even higher and tries to tempt Lear to go back to the cookie jar on the fastball. Anderson's ready to go, but Lear not back in the box yet. Anderson and Galligan both want to work quickly so far in this game as the Newman Catholic pitcher now steps off the mound. Galligan, with a moderate lead at first base, held on right now by Eisenlohr. The 0-2 to Lear. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Boy, that was fastball, fastball, fastball. That ball had a little more of the plate, but Lear could not catch up to the heater, and that'll be out number 1 of the inning on the second K of the game by Jace Anderson. 1 out, 1 on for Aiden Deitering, Bishop Garrigan's freshman. On the season, Deitering with 5 hits into 35 at-bats. Right-handed batter for the Golden Bears with Galligan still at first base. Another pick off to first base, but Galligan really not particularly far off the bag as he's back into the dive. Well, here at Newman Catholic, the softball diamond out beyond the right center field fence. The football field, you can see it out to dead center on the video stream as Galligan takes off. Swing and miss by Deitering, thrown on second base by Peterson, and not quite in time. Galligan with a head first slide, and he swipes second base. That was a good pitch to run on. The low breaking ball right there. And on the swing and miss by Deitering, that's a stolen base of second. And they're going to say catcher interference on that play. Or batter interference, I beg your pardon, in the play. So Deitering interfered with the catcher Peterson that time, and Galligan has to go back to first base. Well, I was looking at the runner at second base, but Deitering's going to be out. I wonder if when he made that swing, he kind of fell out over home plate and got in the way of Peterson's throw. So that's going to be one of those rare batter interference plays. And now Galligan goes back to first as Nate Lear takes a pitch for ball 1. So runner at first, 2 outs now. Nate Lear, 1 hit in 17 at-bats this season. Moving into that DH role tonight. Lear hits about halfway up in the box. Galligan got a great jump as he takes off, and Lear fouls that one back. Boy, Galligan had the pitcher Anderson timed perfectly that time, but Lear saw a pitch he could get after and fouled that one right over the press box. Well, this field, it's right by an adjacent street Over to our left is the high school, but over on the first base line, there's a residential neighborhood right behind us. So it's a little harder for everyone to go chase down foul balls like get out of this yard. They might have to get the phone numbers of those neighbors on tap and say, hey, you've got a foul ball in your backyard. Any chance you want to help us out? As Lear takes a nice breaking ball in there for a strike, and Anderson works ahead 1-2. Trying to work around the leadoff base hit is Anderson as Newman Catholic leads Bishop Garrigan 1-0, top half of the second inning. Anderson, high kick and the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3 as he puts Lear away. The Golden Bears go quietly after the leadoff single. 1 hit, no runs, 1 left on base, and it stays 1-0 Newman Catholic, moving to the bottom of the second on Hometown Radio KLGA and at the Elgato Radio YouTube stream.
High school sports on Hometown and Home Country Radio, brought to you by these fine sports club members.
AK's Chrome Kitchen. When you come in, your family.
Farmers State Bank is proud to be part of our community. Offices in Algona, Whittemore, and West Bend.
Stroman Dental, giving you something to smile about.
Phil's Auto and Truck Repair. Service is the difference.
Trend Salon, your complete family hair salon. It's all about you.
Oakcrest Funeral Services, celebrating a life lived.
All bringing you this game on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
Where you bank matters. Hi, I'm Sherry Bacon at Security State Bank, and we're relationship bankers. We get to know our customers and understand their financial needs. We're locally owned and operated, which means family, community, and service always comes first. So come to Security State Bank. We'll treat you like family. Security State Bank in Algona, Burt, and Laverne. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Security State Bank.
A clean slate for Brady Garrigan as we begin the bottom half of the second inning. It's Newman Catholic 1 and Bishop Garrigan nothing, as Garrigan will face Colin Bliley, Thomas McGuire, and Adam Henrich this inning for the Newman Catholic Knights. Hitters number 6, 7, and 8. In between innings, Bishop Garrigan baseball coach Rob Meister was out there getting an explanation from the home plate umpire on the batter interference call, as Dietering was out over home plate and interfered with the catcher trying to throw out the runner at second base. As that pitch is a breaking ball inside, and I don't know how that one didn't graze Bliley, but it just missed him as the count goes to 1-0. Bliley hitting .245 on the season. Newman Catholic senior batting right-handed, as he'll take that pitch for a ball, 2-0 count. Believe it or not, the Knights did not start this season state-ranked, but they have moved into that number 9 spot in the rankings. Moved up after the first few games of the season, as that pitch is a nice breaker in there for a strike. 2-1 from Garrigan. And that reflects the fact that, of course, they did bring a lot of talent back, as you would think for a Newman team, but they graduated a lot of people from last year's team, including some great pitching, as Garrigan misses and the count goes to 3-1. Of course, Malachi O'Brien started the sub-state game on the mound for Newman Catholic last year, as that pitch is down and in for ball 4, and here we go again to start the second inning. Bliley draws the leadoff walk, and it's now 2 walks and 2 hit-by pitches issued by Garrigan, as Thomas McGuire will be the batter. McGuire, .262 hitter, another righty for Newman Catholic, as Dietering comes into the grass on the third base side, and Schwab holds the runner at first base. Malachi O'Brien last year was borderline unhittable, with a 9-1 record and an .064 ERA. As the ball's in the dirt, it kicks away from Furch. Good jump as Bliley runs to second base, and the throw not quite in time. It was picked on one hop by Mice, but Bliley slides in there safely, and Newman Catholic has a runner in scoring position if nobody out. But even though O'Brien wasn't a senior last year, he has moved away out of the state, so Newman Catholic lost their ace pitcher from last year, squaring to bunt and pulling the bat back is McGuire, and it's a 2-0 count. And they did have 2 really good seniors, Toby Keston, who is 5-2 with a 1.01 ERA, and Andrew Fitzsimmons, who is 6-2 with an .086 ERA. So that 1-2 punch all graduate, as there's a nice breaker in there for a strike, 2-1 count. So after graduating all that great pitching, Newman Catholic really took a huge step back this year and has a 1.95 team ERA. The kick and the pitch by Garrigan. Breaking ball bunted, first base side. Furch out in front of home plate. He grabs it. He fires to first base, and it's in time for the out. Sacrifice completed as McGuire lays down the bunt, and Colin Bliley advances to third base. Newman Catholic playing a little small ball here as the first out is recorded. And Adam Henrich, second baseman, number 8 hitter, will have a chance to drive a man in from third. Henrich hitting .327 with 14 runs driven in. But yes, when I say huge step back, folks, Newman had a 1.28 team ERA last season. This year, that has ballooned to 1.95. Of course, if you can't tell I'm kidding, I am certainly kidding, but they just seem to produce more and more pitching, and having good pitching is always rewarded in high school baseball. I don't care whether it's 1A or 4A, as Garrigan will work from the stretch, man at third base and 1 out. Golden Bear pitching staff has been gritty in its own right this season as that pitch was blocked by Tate Furch behind home plate. Golden Bears bring the infield in on the grass as they will try to cut off the run at home plate. All the infielders have their feet touching grass right now as the runner at third base is Bliley. 1-0 Newman Catholic trying for a second. And a conversation here between Coach Bull and the home plate umpire. I almost thought they called that pitch a strike there, unless the home plate umpire was making a different signal. But they're pointing at that home plate area right now as Henrich will gear back up. Alex Egger on deck serve for Newman Catholic. So they did call the pitch a strike. That was in the dirt, but it was a big breaker, so they say crossed at the knees and then broke down as that one's in there for a called strike, 0-2. I thought that was what that one was about, but you usually don't see that pitch get called as it's an 0-2 count now on the number 8 hitter, Henrich. Garrigan looking for a big punch out here. 0-2. He got him with a called strike 3. He snapped off the breaking ball, and Henrich cannot put the ball in play as those 3 breaking balls in a row are able to get the Newman Catholic second baseman for out number 2 of the inning. So number 9 hitter Alex Egger. Brady Garrigan has been walking on thin ice early in this ball game, but a chance to minimize and eliminate damage once again. Pitch to Egger, another breaking ball, and nicely smothered behind home plate by Tate Furch. 1-0 count. Number 9 hitter Egger for Newman Catholic, batting .250. No homers, 10 runs knocked in. Pitch to Egger. He pops the fastball high in the air, right side of the infield. Routine play for Schwab, who settles underneath it, and he makes the grab. Brady Garrigan has been walking on eggshells so far in this ball game, but he's kept it to a 1-0 score as Newman Catholic strands runner at third base. Still 1-0 on KLGA 92.7 as we head to the third.
High school sports on Hometown and Home Country Radio, brought to you by these fine sports club members.
Central Financial Group, where you belong.
Down to Earth Tree Service, your local Algona tree service.
Styles Salon, your salon in Algona. Create yourself.
Farm and Home Services, view their listings at farmhomeservices.com.
Holmes Animal Clinic, animals large and small. They love them all.
Dance Connection and Tumbling by Michelle, passionate about teaching, creative about dance. Visit their studio or danceconnectionbymichelle.com.
All bringing you this ball game.
We've got more sports club members making this broadcast possible on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
TAFE Wellness Center in Algona and Armstrong, keeping athletes in the game with chiropractic care. Take charge of your health.
Lichter's Garage Door Service and new installations. A reputation you can trust. Call 515-295-5988.
Ed Service Station. Service you can trust.
J&J Custom Meats, continuing the traditions in Whittemore.
Ulrich Construction. Let them do the work.
Sports Club members bringing you this game.
Hey Golden Bear fans, this is Carter Schwab, and you're listening to Bishop Garrigan Baseball on KLGA.
We move to the third inning in Mason City as Newman Catholic is on top of Bishop Garrigan. 1-0 right now on Hometown Radio, KLGA, and the Algona Radio YouTube stream. It'll be Drew Moeller, Thad Kolash, and Tate Furch this inning for the Golden Bears. 8, 9, and 1 in the batting order. Brady Garrigan has bent, but he has not broken so far for the first 2 innings, as Newman Catholic has left a couple of golden scoring opportunities by the wayside. They had bases loaded, nobody out in the first inning, and only got 1 run out of it. Then had a runner at third with 1 out in the second, and they did not score him as Garrigan induced a strikeout and a pop-up as Moeller takes the first pitch out of the zone for ball 1. 1-0 on the Bishop Garrigan left-handed hitting senior. Moeller 6 hits and 35 at-bats this season. 1 run knocked in. Bats near the top of that left-handed box. That front foot up near the chalk as the pitch from Anderson rolled towards second base. Henrich is on it. He'll flip to first base, and out number 1 is recorded on the Bishop Garrigan senior Drew Moeller. As Thad Kolash will now step in. Back-to-back seniors to round up the Bishop Garrigan batting order as Kolash has 6 hits and 31 at-bats this year. 4 runs knocked in for the Golden Bears. Bishop Garrigan and Newman Catholic this season both engaged in tight conference races. Golden Bears in the top of Iowa West and Newman Catholic in the top of Iowa East. As Anderson delivers, that's above the head of Kolash. Make that 1-0 count. Newman Catholic last year shared the conference title on top of Iowa East of St. Ansgar. Both teams went 15-1 conference play. This year, Newman Catholic 1 game ahead of them in the standings. As the 1-0 pitch, swing and miss by Kolash. Couldn't catch up to the fastball, and the count evens at 1-1. Newman Catholic beat St. Ansgar earlier this year 5-4. St. Ansgar, by the way, a top 5 state-ranked team in Class 1A as well, with Newman Catholic being ranked number 9. As the 1-1 pitch, swing and miss by Kolash. He was gearing up for that one, but couldn't make contact with the heater as the count goes to 1-2. And Newman Catholic, they've got one more to go against St. Ansgar later this season, so they control their destiny as far as winning the top of Iowa East is concerned. Bishop Garrigan right now 2 games behind Forest City in the top of Iowa West standings, but they have 2 games to go against the Indians. As the pitch to Kolash is inside, moves his feet, count 2-2. So it's obviously less than ideal for the Golden Bears to be 2 games behind their conference rival Forest City, but they do still control their own destiny. You beat Forest City twice, and you win every other conference game. You at least share a conference title if you're Bishop Garrigan. 2-2 pitch, fouled back by Kolash, and the count will stay even, 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Golden Bears 10-5 overall, got that big win on Friday night, dramatically over Lake Mills, then took care of business in the Grove on Monday night against Eagle Grove. Newman Catholic 14-5 coming into this one. Anderson brings the 2-2. Nasty breaking ball, strike 3, and Kolash could only watch it. That is Anderson's 4th punch out of the game, as the Golden Bears now have 2 outs and nobody on base for Tate Furch. Bishop Garrigan goes 1 through 9 the first time through the batting order, and we'll see how things go as they turn it back over to the top. You always say the more you see a pitcher, the more things start to inch in the direction of the batter, but obviously not easy against Anderson, a sub-2 ERA guy for Newman Catholic. Anderson's pitch, that's up high to Furch. Thought about going after it, but stayed back as the count 1-0. Furch started the game for pop out into foul territory on the third base side. That was caught by Anderson. The 1-0 to the Bishop Garrigan catcher. Furch a wave and a miss. Anderson took a bit off that one, and Furch was slightly out on the front foot that time as the count evens, 1 ball and 1 strike. Dan Mice in the on-deck circle for Bishop Garrigan. This has been a quiet trip for the batting order so far in this game. Pitch to Furch, popped high in the air, third base side again. Drifting towards foul territory is McGuire. McGuire will make the grab, and the inning is over. Golden Bears go down 1-2-3 as Anderson is settling in as he has set down 6 straight Golden Bears. It's 1-0 Newman Catholic as we move to the bottom half of 3 on Hometown Radio and at the Algona Radio YouTube stream.
When you need cash on the go, there's no need to pay a surcharge fee with MoneyPass. Iowa State Bank is proud to be part of the MoneyPass network of surcharge-free ATMs found nationwide. Look for the green and blue MoneyPass symbol on over 32,000 ATMs across the nation. Or find an ATM near your vacation spot or travel destination at moneypass.com. MoneyPass, another way that Iowa State Bank helps people succeed. Member FDIC.
We've got more Sports Club members making this broadcast possible on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
Algona Frame and Auto Body. We meet by accident.
Water Connection, from softeners to bottled water and service. Call 295-SOFT.
Algona Pizza Ranch. There's so much to love.
Cotton Gray Farm Management and Land Realty, downtown Algona. Trusted for farmland service needs since 1960.
Algona Livestock. Sales every Monday.
Countryside Barbecue Sauce. 2 sauces for all seasons.
All bringing you this broadcast on the radio.
Newman Catholic leading Bishop Garrigan 1-0 as we head to the bottom of the 3rd inning on Hometown Radio, KLGA, and at the Algona Radio YouTube live stream. Brady Galligan goes back to work for the Golden Bears. He and Jace Anderson are trying to match zeros here after Newman Catholic got that first run in the 1st inning. They've done it different ways. Anderson has pretty much been lights out so far against the Golden Bears, working a 1-2-3 first, a 1-2-3 third, and only facing 4 batters in the 2nd. Meanwhile, Brady Galligan's had a lot of traffic on the base paths against him, but he has limited the damage as Newman Catholic leads it 1-0. Back to the top of the order of Cal McGuire, who was hit by a pitch his first time. He'll watch that first offering in the dirt for a ball, 1-0 count. Well, it's tough with a lot of lineups. You say, hey, we can just get through the top 4 or 5 guys, and after that, not that you take a break, but you feel a little bit less worried about some of the hitters and some of the power. But for Newman Catholic, you're thinking, boy, this lineup, 6, 7, 8 deep. There's really no automatic outs anywhere within the lineup, so you don't really have a chance to take a breath as a pitcher as Galligan missed downstairs with a curveball. Tate Furch asking where that one was as he tried to frame it, but didn't get it. And it's a 3-0 count here from Brady Galligan on Cal McGuire. The next offering, inside ball 4. Cal McGuire has not seen a strike in his 2 appearances in the batter's box so far in this ball game, and he is back on first base with nobody out. The innings have started so far today. The 1st inning with a hit by pitch, the 2nd inning with a walk, and the 3rd inning with a walk for Newman Catholic. And I'm going to sound like a broken record, but if you keep playing around with the Newman Catholic lineup like that, they are eventually going to break through for a big inning. Pitch down and away for a ball. 1-0 count on Isaiah Keston. Galligan really trying to go with that early curveball. He does not want Newman Catholic locking in on the early heater. And he's had mixed success getting that first pitch over. Dietering in on the grass at third base. Schwab holds the runner at first for Bishop Garrigan. And 5 straight pitches out of the zone to start the inning for Garrigan. Garrigan wearing the black arm sleeve on the right arm. Kicks and fires. And that one fouled straight back. Keston getting right after that one as the count evens at 1-1. Keston was also walked his first time up as Gage Peterson is due up next for Newman Catholic. Still an overcast night. Still a light breeze blowing in from left here in Mason City as Garrigan wants to run through the signs again. Runner goes. Here's the pitch in there for a strike. Furch fires to second base, and Mice can't quite put the tag down. Mice was crossing from the shortstop side to the second base, moving across the bag and trying to slap the tag down on McGuire as he went by, but couldn't quite get that down in time as McGuire moves into scoring position. That pitch was in the zone, so it's now a 1-2 count on the batter, Isaiah Keston. That's Cal McGuire's 15th steal of the season in 16 attempts. That pitch is taken to the outside, 2-2 count from Garrigan. Newman on the base paths this year, 69 steals in 75 attempts now after that one. Actually, 70 steals because they had one earlier tonight, too. Breaking ball, and there's a take by Keston. Count goes full, 3-2. That spiked breaking ball, sometimes you can get a swing on that against a lot of teams, but Newman, a very disciplined lineup. They're not going to swing at those a ton. Galligan's payoff pitch. Breaking ball fouled off. That was a floating breaking ball over the plate. Keston had the late reaction there and just flicked it off to the screen first base side as the count stays 3 balls and 2 strikes. That's one where your front foot hits early and then you got to just have that split second before you start your swing. As fastball sails upstairs for ball 4, and it's back-to-back walks to start the inning. McGuire on second, Keston on first, and Newman Catholic threatening once again for Gage Peterson, who was hit by a pitch his last time up. And it'll be another visit on the mound here as they will talk things over with the starting pitcher Brady Garrigan. I believe that's Coach Kevin Lappy out there for the Golden Bears. We've got a couple of Lappies there in the dugout, Drew and Kevin, but see Drew there over on the first base side. Wasn't too long ago where Drew Lappy was playing in these Bishop Garrigan versus Newman Catholic matchups, appearing in a couple of those sub-state games that these two teams matched up in. This year, these two teams ended up in different sub-state brackets as the pitch by Garrigan. That one is upstairs for a ball to Peterson, and it's a 1-0 count. The only way these teams can meet up in the postseason is if it happens at state this year. Bishop Garrigan does have to contend with fellow top of Iowa East team for Newman Catholic, St. Ansgar in the postseason potentially. Should the Golden Bears take care of business in the early rounds, they could potentially see St. Ansgar in a district championship game this year, but that is getting way ahead of myself as the count is 1-1 right now on Peterson. Point being, though, they are not in the same bracket as Newman this year. 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball, that is floated foul, left field side as it'll drop harmlessly on the grass, and the count goes 1-2 against Peterson. Well, the same principle applies that I've been talking about with Anderson. You've got to be able to mix your speeds if you're Brady Garrigan, especially against the middle of this batting order. Oh, that fastball control has been erratic so far tonight. Pick off to second base, but nobody covering the bag as diving back in is McGuire. Sometimes you'll have a called play where they'll try to pick the runner off, but I think that was just Garrigan spinning there as the 1-2 pitch. That's a fastball up high, and Peterson not tempted. Count evens 2 balls and 2 strikes. Cole waiting on deck for Newman Catholic. First and second if nobody out as Garrigan works in the 3rd inning. His next pitch, breaking ball misses outside. Up and away on that offering, and the count goes full, 3-2. And Garrigan in danger of loading the bases once again as Peterson has worked back into this count. Peterson slightly choked up on the right-handed bat. Runners move, 3-2 pitch, popped in the air, now they better get back. That ball is on the left side of the infield, caught by Mice. A throw to second base, double play! A double play, but did they call an infield fly? That is the question. Although, if they call that infield fly, the runner can advance at their own peril, so regardless, that's going to be an out at second base. Boy, Bishop Garrigan, they have gotten some timely double plays today. Peterson pops into that one. Dan Mice with the heads-up play as well because he made the catch and he did not settle for one out. He immediately looked to second base where Caden Graves was covering. As Coach Meister discussing right now with the umpires. But heading back to the dugout is going to be McGuire, the lead runner, erased. So Peterson pops into the double play, and all of a sudden a very threatening situation becomes, once again, a manageable situation. It's Keston at first, now 2 outs. There's a ground ball towards third base into the gut of Dietering. Dietering guns it across the diamond, in time for the out. Brady Garrigan continues to skate right by and keep Bishop Garrigan in this ball game. It's Newman Catholic 1 and Bishop Garrigan nothing as we move to the 4th on KLGA 92.7.
High school sports on Hometown and Home Country Radio, brought to you by these fine sports club members.
Signworks Inc. For all your signage needs and printed apparel, stop in or call 295-9544.
New Way K&H Co-op, delivering exceptional value through knowledge and innovation.
West Bend Ford, meeting your service, new and used vehicle needs.
Tom Eischen Sales, your store in the country, carrying Steel and Toro products and Green Mountain pellet grills.
PMC Advantage Insurance Services, insuring our neighbors for over 80 years.
All sponsors of this game broadcast. High school sports on Hometown and Home Country Radio, brought to you by these fine sports club members.
American Glass. For all your glass needs, think American.
Farm Bureau Financial Agents Dave Beisch, Daniel Foth, and Michael Toll.
Chemco Tires. They're all you need to know about tires and service.
Wykert Realtors, the 515 Agency, a fresh approach to real estate.
Grassmasters. Growing satisfied customers.
Iowa Lakes Community College, your community, your college.
Glenn's Green Thumb. From a small seed, something beautiful will grow.
All bringing you this game on the radio.
Hey Golden Bear fans, this is Dan Mice. You're listening to Bishop Garrigan Baseball on KLGA.
One of the old school shades in baseball is that the pitcher's best friend is the double play. And tonight, the double play has been the best friend of the Bishop Garrigan Golden Bears, including Gary the Bear. Believe it or not, my color commentator Beanie Bodie is not Gary the Bear's best friend, but I will say the double play is for tonight because the Golden Bears have turned 2 double plays, and they have prevented a big outburst by this Newman Catholic offense. Knights have had all kinds of base runners today, but so far just a 1-0 lead as we play in the 4th inning here from Mason City, Iowa. It'll be 2, 3, and 4 in the Bishop Garrigan batting order. Dan Mice, Carter Schwab, and Brady Garrigan against Jace Anderson. Anderson has been relaxed, throwing strikes, and in control against the Bishop Garrigan lineup. There's really been no hard contact so far in this game for the Golden Bears. Foul balls or fair balls. Just 1 base hit so far against Anderson. Anderson fires, and he made that fastball. Missed downstairs for ball 1, missed just below the knees. The count goes to 1-0. So Mice, Schwab, and Garrigan, 2, 3, and 4 in the batting order. This is the inning for the Golden Bears to try to grab a little momentum here as the 1-0 pitch. And that one is across the letters for a cold strike. Count evens 1-1 on Mice. These non-conference matchups are always interesting because both these teams have conference matchups coming up later on in the week, so the pitching management's always a big question in these type of games. The breaking ball, nasty in there for a called strike. Mice was turning out of the way, but that one broke back over the plate. The count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. That can be hard as a batter, but you've got to find a way to stick in there on that inside breaking pitch. Mice wearing that shin guard on the front leg. Now down on the count 1-2. Anderson delivers. Way but a miss for strike 3. He had Mice tied up in knots on that breaking pitch as he went back to the breaking ball offering that time to make it out number 1 of the inning as Mice is retired on the K for the 2nd time today. Now it's Carter Schwab who grounded out his first time up on a bang-bang play at first base. One of the better plays of the game as Eisenlohr made the grab deep down the line and then flipped to Anderson covering the bag, who just beat Schwab at a foot race. Schwab slightly choked up. He'll take that pitch downstairs for ball 1. 1-0 on the Bishop Garrigan number 3 hitter. But of course, talking about the pitching management, you always think the big games will go to Mice if you're Bishop Garrigan, and then Newman has several pitching options. That one is in there for a called strike, 1-1 count, but you rarely see the aces throw in a non-conference game like this, but I would say the same thing for both Bishop Garrigan and Newman Catholic. These teams would both be set up extremely well if you played a 7-game Major League style series as Schwab taps that foul at home plate. 1-2 count. Schwab threw a great game yesterday against Eagle Grove. A 7-inning complete game where he only allowed 2 runs and got the win for the Golden Bears. Also had an excellently pitched game earlier this season against North Iowa, another conference win for Bishop Garrigan. The 1-2 pitch to Schwab. Sails up high for a ball, 2-2 count. I mean, a 4-man rotation right now for Bishop Garrigan. Mice, Furch, Garrigan, and Schwab. I know obviously 7-game series aren't played in high school ball, but that would be tough to beat. The 2-2 pitch. A little bit downstairs as Schwab spits on that offering, and the count full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Anderson has not walked anybody yet, and he has not hit any batters for a pitch. The only base runner on a soft flare to right center field by Brady Garrigan back in the 2nd inning. Anderson with the payoff. Up high, ball 4 as he loses Carter Schwab, and Carter Schwab works another really nice plate appearance for the Golden Bears. Runner on first base, 1 out, and we'll see if Brady Garrigan's hot streak continues. So far, the only base hit for Bishop Garrigan. So Garrigan bats, Lear on deck. And the Golden Bears are trying to make something of this fourth inning, trailing 1-0 right now. Anderson trying to get back into control. Works from the stretch and he fires. Schwab, big secondary lead. There's a bouncer towards shortstop. Picked up on the backhand by McGuire. McGuire tough throw to first base. Not in time. And now Schwab might be in trouble. He's trying to go to third. Throw to third. It's wide. And Schwab got there. He slid to the outside part of the bag. And he is safe at third base. Boy, that was a risky base running play by Bishop Garrigan's junior Carter Schwab. He hesitated coming around second base, and then he realized he was caught between bases and tried to break for third. He slid to the outside part of the bag, and Newman Catholic couldn't get the tag on him. At the front end of the play, that was nicely done by McGuire. Fielded it in the hole on the shortstop side, made a long throw to first, but Galligan had the speed to beat that play out. Then Eisenlohr, the first baseman, threw across the diamond, but Thomas McGuire couldn't get the tag on Schwab, and all of a sudden the Golden Bears have a chance to tie the game. Nick Lear had a tough plate appearance his first time up, striking out on 3 pitches against Anderson. Pick off the first base, but Galligan dives back in, and all of a sudden the attention of the Bishop Garrigan first base dugout is perked up a little bit here. We'll see if Galligan ever goes during this at-bat. He does. Pitch to Lear is up high. McGuire's going to throw through to second base, and the slide, the tag, they got him at second base. That throws to the second base side, but McGuire got the tag on the back foot of Galligan as he slid in head first, and the runner is erased at second. The risk does not pay off for Bishop Garrigan, and Galligan is gunned down, now 2 outs. Gage Peterson with another great throw from behind home plate. His 6th caught stealing of the season. He has only allowed 11 steals. Now it's Schwab at third base with 2 outs. What a fascinating inning. The pitch to Lear. Lear flies that in the air, fairly deep towards left field. Egger getting on his horse. He's racing back. He leaps. He dives. And he made an unbelievable catch. He made the grab in left field. What a catch by Egger to save extra bases and keep this a 1-0 game. Full extension in the deep left field area. He robs Nick Lear of a double, and the inning is over. The Golden Bears threaten, but they do not score. 1 hit, I should say. 1 left on, and no runs for the Golden Bears. Newman Catholic right now leading 1-0 on KLGA 92.7.
For over 40 years, Northwest Iowa bone, joint, and sports surgeons have maintained one mission: to provide excellence in orthopedic care. Their team of 9 physicians offers specialized care in everything from arthroscopic same-day surgery to joint replacement, as well as hand and foot surgery, and have an orthopedic surgeon on call 24/7. Healthcare isn't about appointments, it's about taking care of people, and that's their specialty. Visit Northwest Iowa Bone, Joint, and Sports Surgeons on the web at nwiabone.com.
High school sports on Hometown and Home Country Radio, brought to you by these fine sports club members.
Signworks Inc. For all your signage needs and printed apparel, stop in or call 295-9544.
New Way K&H Co-op, delivering exceptional value through knowledge and innovation.
West Bend Ford, meeting your service, new and used vehicle needs.
Tom Eischen Sales, your store in the country, carrying steel and Toro products and Green Mountain pellet grills.
PMC Advantage Insurance Services, insuring our neighbors for over 80 years.
All sponsors of this game broadcast.
Sports Center top 10 type material in left field from Newman Catholic outfielder Alex Egger, as a line drive to third base is through and into left field for a base hit. It was Tegan Eisenlohr jumping on the first pitch of this inning from Brady Galligan, and believe it or not, with all the base runners Newman Catholic's had, that is their first hit of the ball game. Although they have had their leadoff runner on every inning so far, as Galligan has struggled with his control, but to Galligan's credit, he has worked around it. Boy, that last half inning, Bishop Garrigan made a trip for the middle of their batting order, and that was possibly the best chance to score against Anderson up to this point. First and third if only 1 out, but the inning was extinguished on the caught stealing, and then the diving catch in left field, back to home plate by Alex Egger, as ball 1 is delivered to Colin Bliley, the right fielder for Newman Catholic. Alec Egger, the left fielder, made that catch, and that's where the caught stealing hurts you if you're Bishop Garrigan, as Galligan delivers. Breaking ball smothered behind home plate by Furch as the count goes to 2-0. You had first and third if 1 out. Runner gets caught stealing at second base. Obviously, it's easy to Monday morning quarterback that, but if they didn't try to steal there, that's a sacrifice fly, and this game is tied. Ground ball to third base, absorbed by Deitering. Goes to second, and he throws into the right field. Ball's thrown into right, and getting on his horse to go to third is Eisenlohr. The first mistake of the game by Bishop Garrigan, and Newman Catholic has him at the corners with nobody out. And another big jam for Brady Galligan. So Newman Catholic, they have threatened all day long. Is this the inning they blow it open? Thomas McGuire, the number 7 hitter, who grounded out to the pitcher his first time up. He is 0 for 1 as Bishop Garrigan keeps the infield back. Schwab holds the runner at first base. Deitering even with the bag at third as the pitch will be a bit down and away for a ball. 1-0 count. We'll see if the Golden Bears can turn another double play. You would trade a double play for a run here if you're Bishop Garrigan. You're thinking damage minimization in a situation like this. That ball's popped high in the air, first base side. That could help too. Foul territory. Here comes Garrigan, and he makes the grab. Nobody can advance, and a foul pop-out gets the first out of the inning. Boy, is this trend going to continue. Newman Catholic has not hit well tonight, runners in scoring position. And the batter will be Adam Henrich. These two teams met twice last season. Newman Catholic beating Bishop Garrigan 5-3 in the regular season meeting at Bishop Garrigan High School. Then the sub-state game meeting at Forest City High School went to Newman Catholic by a final 10-3. First to third pickoff, they throw to first, and they almost had Bliley leaning there. Bliley took a little false step towards second base, but the ball didn't get there in time, and he's back safely at first. Newman nearly runs into an out. Pitch is down and away, and Furch has the backhanded pick. Sliding over towards the left-handed batter's box in the count 1-0. Tate Furch is a Dyson behind home plate, vacuuming in all the pitches that are in the dirt or outside of the strike zone. As Golden Bears can really think two here. Pitch to Henrich. Runner stealing second. Furch will throw through. It's a high throw, and it's into center field. Here comes the run from third base, and Eisenlohr will touch home. 2-0 Newman Catholic. Not the inning defensively Bishop Garrigan wanted here, as Bliley is able to take second base. And that throw into center field, it was just off to the second base side. It wasn't flush over the bag like Furch wanted it to be. It went behind the intended target, and it's 2-0 Newman Catholic. And that feels big of the way Anderson is pitching up to this point. Again, you're still thinking minimized damage here. Runner now at second base with one out. Garrigan delivers. And a check swing on the breaking ball, but Henrich didn't go, as Garrigan works behind in the count. Well, both these catchers, Gage Peterson for Newman Catholic and Tate Furch for Bishop Garrigan, you trust them to throw through as there's a fly ball towards right field. Cruising over to his Moeller. He settles underneath and he makes the grab. Runner tags at second base, and he will stay right there. Moeller one-hop throw to the cutoff man, and Colin Bliley can't advance. That ball not particularly deep to right field, and again, that's why you hit your cutoff man. The runner Bliley took a couple of steps there to try to induce the throw by Moeller, but got it to Mice, the shortstop, and again, one run in this inning would not be the end of the world for Bishop Garrigan. The way it started off, first and third, nobody out. The batter now, Alec Egger, the left fielder that is. Pitch to Egger will lean him back as he goes stumbling out of the batter's box. 1-0 count. Egger grounded out to first base his first time up, but if Newman Catholic ends up winning this one tonight, the catch in left field is what's going to stand out. That saved a run, at least one run in the last half inning. Pitch to Egger, and that one did drill him. Breaking ball that hit him on the front shoulder, and Newman Catholic now have a second base runner on. And back to the top of the order for Cal McGuire, who's been walked twice so far in this game. Well, even though Newman Catholic, their number 9 and number 8 hitters are much better than most teams' number 9 and number 8 hitters, you did not want to face McGuire again this inning. McGuire has walked twice, but one of Newman Catholic's most dangerous hitters. Their leadoff batter has not seen a pitch in the strike zone today as Garrigan spins towards second base, and nothing doing. McGuire took 3 balls in his first at-bat and was hit by a pitch on the 4th offering, and walked on 4 pitches in the 3rd inning. Graves holds the runner at second. Garrigan delivers. Furch snaps for to first base, and back in there for dive is Egger, who had wandered a little bit far off the bag for Furch's liking. 1-0 pitch, didn't miss by much. So Garrigan behind here 1-0. Outfield straight up for Bishop Garrigan. Graves dancing near second base. The pitch is a nice breaking ball that painted the corner, and McGuire frozen as the count evens 1-1. Cal McGuire hitting .441. Usually don't see leadoff hitters have a ton of RBI, but he has 21 of those on the season. And that pitch is behind the batter on the breaking ball. 2-1 count. And that's because, of course, your first at-bat of the game is guaranteed to have nobody on base. But McGuire's hit extremely well for runners in scoring position, and really in any situation regardless. The pitch to him, that's a knee buckler from Garrigan, and the count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Once again, can Brady Garrigan minimize the damage? Newman Catholic up 2-0 right now over Bishop Garrigan. The check of second base and the pitch. There's a check swing foul over the dugout first base side, and we'll do it again of a 2-2 count. McGuire was late on that offering, the high fastball, and didn't really mean to, but that got a piece of the bat, and we will have a replay here of the 2-2 count. Little sunshine now here for Mason City, peeking through the clouds. Garrigan checks second base, and he delivers. Up and away for a ball, and the count full of 3-2. So on this pitch, Bliley will be moving at second base, and Egger will be moving at first. It's 2-0 Newman Catholic, and a gapper here could be trouble for Bishop Garrigan if the runner starting with the 3-2 count and 2 outs. Galgan's payoff. Breaking ball ripped foul left field side. That'll go out of play as a nice catch is made third base side by one of the Newman Catholic fans. Wow, barehanded grab on the line drive. You don't see that every day, folks. Normally when that happens, the fans are going scattering and heading for cover, but that man came prepared. Didn't even have to bring a glove. That was a barehanded grab. Galligan hands it the belt. The 3-2 again. Hard ground ball towards shortstop. Oh, it takes a big hop for Mice, but he grabs it, throws to first base, and it's in time for the out as he beats McGuire by a step. That ball took a high hop, head level to Mice, but he stayed right with it, and Bishop Garrigan minimizes the damage in the fourth. Newman Catholic goes up 2-0, moving to the fifth on KLGA 92.7.
More sports club members.
Lusher Family Dentistry, serving your family since 1965 on Call Street in Algona.
Algona Plumbing and Heating, where a good flush beats a full house.
Kasuth Regional Health Center, your home for health care.
Walker Chiropractic and Wellness, caring for Algona, Sway City, and surrounding areas with chiropractic, nutritional, and physical therapy services.
Reeves Wicked Good Bar and Grill, for wicked good food, drinks, and service, you've got to go to Reeves.
High Point Land Company, your trusted land partner in Algona.
All bringing you this game on the radio.
Thank you to these sports club members bringing you this game on Hometown Home Country Radio.
CB Grain Solutions, satisfaction guaranteed.
Dump It, Kasuth County's local and reliable waste service provider for commercial and residential customers.
Albert Electric, flip the switch to Albert Electric.
Billy Offerman, your State Farm agent in Algona. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Greg Penning and Company, certified public accountants where everyone counts.
Daylight Donuts, open early with delicious donuts and great coffee.
All bringing you this game on the radio.
We move to the fifth here in Mason City. It's Newman Catholic on top of Bishop Garrigan 2-0 in a rematch of last year's sub-state final. Bishop Garrigan has Aiden Deitering, Nate Lear, and Drew Mahler due up to the plate this inning. Golden Bears threatened in the fourth, but they did not score. Newman Catholic threatened in the fourth as well, and they plated one run. But Brady Galligan continues to dance around trouble. So far, he has stranded 5 runners on base for Newman Catholic, but a couple of double plays have made that number look a bit lower as the Golden Bears, they have bent, but they really haven't broken today. Committed their first error of the game in the fourth inning, as that allowed the inning to get started for Newman Catholic. But now they'll try to get something going offensively as Deitering grounds the first pitch towards shortstop. McGuire waits back on it. He throws to first base, and that is a close play, but he beats Deitering by a step. McGuire waited back dangerously long for that ball that kind of died on this infield grass, but had the strong arm and gunned it to first base in time to beat the speeding Deitering for out number 1. Nate Lear was a strikeout victim his first time up, 0 for 1 today. Right-handed hitting designated hitter for the Golden Bears. One of the 5 strikeouts recorded by Anderson so far, who has been in control. No runs on 2 hits for Bishop Garrigan. Anderson has only walked 1. That pitch is upstairs for a ball, 1-0 count. Really the only semblance of a threat today for Bishop Garrigan was in the fourth inning when the Golden Bears had first and third with only 1 out, but a caught stealing and a diving catch in left field quickly extinguished that as Lear swings over the top of an off-speed pitch. Count evens up 1 ball and 1 strike. Important non-conference game here for both teams. It'd be easy to schedule lesser teams, but this is the kind of game that really sharpens you up, especially late in the season. As there's a foul tip into the glove. Count goes to 1-2. Postseason brackets are, of course, out for Class 1A and 2A from the state of Iowa, and a game like this always has a postseason feel to it when you have these 2 quality teams going at it. 1-2 pitch. A breaking ball flied high in the air, out of play to the third base side. That fan who made the catch the previous inning on the line drive was giving it a look, but that was a bit out of his striking range as the ball drops in foul territory to make the count 1-2. 1 out, nobody on base as Lear bats with Moeller on deck. Bishop Garrigan half of the 5th inning. Anderson comes to the plate, and he spiked the fastball in. Count evens 2 balls and 2 strikes. We haven't seen the fastball quite as much here the second time for the batting order. A lot of soft stuff to the Bishop Garrigan hitters. But he's mixed it in when the time is called for it. Anderson's 2-2. And he got Lear to chase one in the dirt. Picked up by Peterson. He throws to first base, and the strikeout is completed as Eisenlohr holds the bag. That is strikeout number 6 of the ball game, and Lear chased one that was about a foot in front of home plate, but he was fooled on the breaking ball, and now it's 2 outs, nobody on for Drew Mahler. Mahler grounded out to second base his first time up, 0 for 1 today. The left-handed hitting senior for Bishop Garrigan. This game moving fast. We're in the 5th, and offensively, Bishop Garrigan has just 7 outs to work with against Anderson. Newman Catholic has had a pitcher throwing on the third base bullpen mound the past couple of innings. That is Logan Vasky, Newman Catholic sophomore, who has taken some warm-up tosses, but Anderson has been efficient so far tonight as he is behind 1-0 against Mahler. The next pitch to Mahler, and he fouls it back straight over the screen. Count evens up 1 ball and 1 strike. Bishop Garrigan tomorrow will return to conference play. They are scheduled to play against Garner Haventura, although based on the forecast, I am not truly confident that game is going to be able to get in, but we will have to wait and see as Mahler grounds the ball towards the middle of the infield, and that one is going to sneak through into center field for a base hit. 2-out single by Drew Mahler as Keston bobbles the ball in center field, but not enough for Mahler to advance to second. That is just the 3rd hit of the ball game for Bishop Garrigan as they'll try to create something with 2 outs. Thad Kolash now the hitter, who struck out his first time up. But a lot of rain in the forecast tomorrow around the area. Newman Catholic is scheduled to play a suspended game against West Fork tomorrow, a game that was stopped in the 4th inning, and they will resume it tomorrow. Mahler short lead at first base, held on by Eisenlohr as Anderson delivers strike 1 to the number 9 hitter, Thad Kolash. 2 outs, 1 on for Bishop Garrigan. Still looking for that big hit. Nick Lear almost gave it to them last inning. Pick off to first base, diving back in safely is Mahler. Even with 3 hits, there's really only been 1 hard hit ball today by Bishop Garrigan, and that was the Lear deep fly ball to left field that was caught by Egger on the dive. Anderson with the 0-1 delivery. Nice breaking ball in there for a called strike. 0-2 against Kolash. And that's a sign of a good pitcher. Yes, it's a highlight reel whenever a pitcher can come in there and strike out 15 batters and dominate the game that way, but when you have a guy like Anderson who pitches to contact and you have a good Newman Catholic defense behind him, that can still be a really good formula. He mixes his speeds well, he throws his breaking pitch for strikes, and induces a lot of softly hit balls. 0-2 pitch. Another breaking ball as Kolash was tempted, but he held back. Count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Stayed a little bit up there. That is a strike to a lot of players, but not to Thad Kolash, as the count's 1-2. Tate Furch in the on-deck circle. Anderson comes to the plate. Fastball foul tip for strike 3. He powered it past Kolash, and the inning is over. Bishop Garrigan, 1 hit, 1 left on base, and no runs. We move to the bottom of the 5th. It's Newman Catholic 2 and Bishop Garrigan nothing on Hometown Radio, KLGA.
More Sports Club members.
Lusher Family Dentistry, serving your family since 1965 on Call Street in Algona.
Algona Plumbing and Heating, where a good flush beats a full house.
Kasuth Regional Health Center, your home for health care.
Walker Chiropractic and Wellness, caring for Algona, Sway City, and surrounding areas with chiropractic, nutritional, and physical therapy services.
Reeves Wicked Good Bar and Grill, for wicked good food, drinks, and service, you gotta go to Reeves.
High Point Land Company, your trusted land partner in Algona.
All bringing you this game on the radio.
Thank you to these Sports Club members bringing you this game on Hometown Home Country Radio.
CB Grain Solutions, satisfaction guaranteed.
Dump It, Kasuth County's local and reliable waste service provider for commercial and residential customers.
Albert Electric, flip the switch to Albert Electric.
Billy Offerman, your State Farm agent in Algona. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Greg Penning and Company, certified public accountants where everyone counts.
Daylight Donuts, open early with delicious donuts and great coffee.
All bringing you this game on the radio.
Back here at Newman Catholic High School, the Newman Catholic Knights lead the Bishop Garrigan Golden Bears by a count of 2-0 right now. It's the bottom of the 5th inning as Newman Catholic has Isaiah Keston, Gage Peterson, and West Cole due to bat this inning. 2, 3, and 4 in the order against Brady Garrigan. Newman has had the leadoff runner on every inning so far as that ball is tapped foul first base side. Keston with a cue shot off the end of the bat as the count is 0-1. Garrigan has either hit the pitch, or I should say hit the leadoff batter for pitch or walked the leadoff batter in the first 3 innings, then gave a leadoff single in the 4th, but he's only allowed 2 runs in a quality start thus far as he'll deliver downstairs for a ball to Keston, 1-1 count. Garrigan from the stretch, hands belt high, high kick of the 1-1 pitch, breaking ball rolled towards third base, a nice pick over there by Deitering, he sets himself, he fires to first base, and he beats the speeding Keston for out number 1 of the inning. And for the first time today, Newman Catholic does not get their leadoff runner on base, 1 out and nobody on, a sentence I have not said so far tonight as Gage Peterson bats. Peterson hit by a pitch his first time, and he popped out into a double play on a bizarre play in the 3rd inning his last time up. As he will bat here. The Newman Catholic number 3 hitter against Brady Galligan if nobody on base, as Galligan delivers. Down in the dirt for a ball, 1-0 count. Well, folks, I know everyone is wondering where our beloved color commentator Beanie Bodie has gone tonight, but Beanie's busy for this one, folks. I don't know what to say. There's a breaking ball line towards third base. Mice takes it on the shortstop position. One hop, he'll fire to first, and he got the out. Peterson with a little jam jump to shortstop. Mice waited back deep in the hole that time and unloaded the throw to first base, and it's 2 up, 2 down for Newman to start the bottom of the 5th. Beanie is busy planning a coming out of hibernation party for Gary the Bear mascot, I should say. So I'm assuming Beanie is going to have a great facility rented out, all the catering done for us, and all the guest invites sent out as well. So plan on that, folks. Don't ask me. That's just what Beanie's doing today, as that pitch is a breaking ball that just missed the zone here for West Cole. Cole 0 for 2 today. Grounded to a 4-6-3 double play in the first inning that brought home a run, and grounded out to third in the third inning. Another off-speed offering by Galligan. Stays upstairs for a ball, 2-0 count. A lot of junk balling tonight from the two pitchers. A lot of off-speed offerings. As the next pitch by Galligan, right on cue, there's a fastball in the dirt, and it's a 3-0 count. Neither pitcher really wants to give the other team a whole lot of fastballs to hit tonight. We have seen a lot of off-speed offerings. 2 outs, nobody on base, and Brady Galligan trying to work his first traffic-free inning of the night. 3-0 pitch. That one's right over the plate for a strike. Galligan took a little off that one, and it's a 3-1 count. Cole batting right now. Eisenlohr on deck and Bliley in the hole for Newman Catholic. The next pitch, breaking ball downstairs for ball 4, and he will lose Cole, the number 4 hitter for the Knights. So Cole will head to first base. Another walk issued here by Galligan. Even with 2 outs, you can't go to sleep here against this Newman lineup as Eisenlohr. He's 1 for 2, a strikeout looking in the first, and a single in the 4th to lead off the inning. And we'll see a runner come into the ballgame for Cole.
Pinch runner is number 23, Jackson Dutcher.
Pinch runner will be the sophomore Jackson Dutcher as he will head to first base. So Dutcher at first base, 2 outs. 2-0 Newman Catholic on top of Bishop Garrigan, as the Golden Bears will go back to the top of the order with Furch, Mice, and Schwab once we head to the top of the 6th. So Eisenlohr, right-handed hitting first baseman, back into the box here, dusting off the home plate area and getting that toe hold as he awaits the offering from Galligan. Bishop Garrigan straight up in the outfield, pick off to first base, and Dutcher dives back in on a close play. Almost got stuck in the mud there at first base. Was a little slow there on the dive. He didn't have a huge lead, but that play was a lot closer than it looked when the ball left Galligan's hand on the pickoff. Galligan quick to the plate. Pitch is down and away, and Furch slides over and makes the stop on the backhanded side to make it a 1-0 count. Well, it doesn't appear the Bishop Garrigan outfield is particularly deep, but as I established earlier, especially left field and center field, this is a pretty deep Newman Catholic outfield. Right field not quite as deep. As the pickoff to first base again, this time throw is down the baseline a little bit as Dutcher dives back in. Newman Catholic has another pitcher throwing in the bullpen as Isaiah Keston has started taking a few warm-up tosses. We saw Logan Vasky warm earlier. As there's a pitch popped high in the air towards second base. Graves trying to find it in the sky. He locates the ball and he makes the catch. That was the most stress-free inning of the night for Brady Galligan. He works around the 2-out base runner, and the score stays 2-0. We move to the 6th on Hometown Radio KLGA and at the Algona Radio YouTube stream.
High school sports on Hometown and Home Country Radio, brought to you by these fine sports club members.
Signworks Inc. For all your signage needs and printed apparel, stop in or call 295-9544.
New Way K&H Co-op, delivering exceptional value through knowledge and innovation.
West Bend Ford, meeting your service, new and used vehicle needs.
Tom Eischen Sales, your store in the country, carrying steel and Toro products and Green Mountain pellet grills.
PMC Advantage Insurance Services, insuring our neighbors for over 80 years.
All sponsors of this game broadcast. High school sports on Hometown and Home Country Radio, brought to you by these fine sports club members.
American Glass. For all your glass needs, think American.
Farm Bureau Financial Agents Dave Beisch, Daniel Foth, and Michael Tull.
Chemco Tires. They're all you need to know about tires and service.
Wykert Realtors, the 515 Agency, a fresh approach to real estate.
Grassmasters. Growing satisfied customers.
Iowa Lakes Community College, your community, your college.
Glenn's Green Thumb. From a small seed, something beautiful will grow.
All bringing you this game on the radio.
Hey Golden Bear fans, this is Carter Schwab, and you're listening to Bishop Garrigan Baseball on KLGA.
Back here at Newman Catholic High School, where a new pitcher has entered the ball game, Isaiah Keston taking over for the Newman Catholic Knights as Jace Anderson exits after 5 innings. And boy, was Anderson good today. He is in line for the win right now as Newman Catholic leads 2-0 in the top half of the 6th inning. Anderson's final stat line, 5 innings pitched, 3 hits allowed, no runs allowed. He struck out 7 and he only walked 1. It'll be Tate Furch to lead things off against the new pitcher, Isaiah Keston. Keston was the center fielder previously, as Colin Bliley is now slid over to center field for Newman Catholic. We'll try to figure out who's in right field here, but a few defensive changes for the Knights. And according to my stats, Logan Vasky has gone to right field. Assist from the press box there as Vasky is taken over in right. Keston kicks and delivers as Furch flies the first pitch in the air, shallow right field. Out is the second baseman Henrich. In is the right fielder Vasky, and he makes the grab for out number 1 of the inning. And the old baseball principle of as soon as you enter the game, the ball is going to find you holds. Out number 1 recorded for Newman Catholic. This is Keston's first pitching appearance of the season as he retires the dangerous Tate Furch for out number 1. Bishop Garrigan still trailing 2-0, trying to surprise the state semifinalist from last year, Newman Catholic. But the Knights have held serve so far in this one after taking a 1-0 lead in the first. Mice ground ball towards third base. High hop from McGuire. McGuire low throw. Eisenlohr with a nice play on the backhand side to record the out. And Bishop Garrigan goes down quickly, 2 up, 2 down to start the inning. Mice retired 5-3 in your scorebook, and Carter Schwab will try to start something here with 2 outs and nobody on in the 6th. Just 4 outs to work for Bishop Garrigan, and this is the spot to do it. 3-4-5 in the batting order. Schwab 1 for 2 today. Actually, check that. He's over 1 today. A walk and a ground out. Pitch to Schwab. Fastball in there for a called strike, 0-1. Well, folks, Beanie Bodie has gotten busy here today. He's already ordering the fresh salmon fillets for the Gary the Bear coming out of hibernation party. The 0-1 pitch. Downstairs for a ball, 1-1 count. The live caught Maine lobster. Beanie's got that as well. Of course, he's going to be bringing steak as well if you're interested in that. A little surf and turf action. And it's all on Beanie's budget, he tells me, so plan on that this winter as Schwab fouls that back to the screen. Count 1 ball and 2 strikes. And of course, drinks will be on Beanie as well. That's all coming up here at the Gary the Bear coming out of hibernation party, so keep your eye out for that, folks. I know Beanie's very busy planning that here tonight. In the meantime, Keston has a 1-2 count against Schwab. He fires, and that is below the knees. Keston was starting off the mound towards the third base side, but he'll have to throw at least 1 more pitch, and Schwab wasn't tempted on the fastball. Count even, 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Newman Catholic righty working from the stretch, hands head high, and the pitch. Schwab slices that one off to the third base side, foul territory, as that'll get out of play. Ooh, man. Not a good effort there in the bleachers. We saw a highlight reel grab by one of the fans earlier in this game, but that was a scattering of the fans over there in the third base bleachers. They did not want a part of that Schwab foul ball. 2-2 count. The stretch and the pitch. Schwab slices it again. Look out, third base bleachers. Here it comes, and that's going to drop harmlessly in foul territory. We did have someone coming out of the bleachers there, but he couldn't get there in time, as it's a 2-2 count on Schwab. Wearing out the bleachers over there on the third base side. Keston, 2-2 pitch. Schwab weakly grounded towards shortstop. McGuire takes the high hop. He flips it across the diamond, and Schwab is out number 3. Golden Bears go down quietly in the 6th. They do not score, and Newman Catholic leads at 2-0, looking to add insurance next on KLGA 92.7.
For over 40 years, Northwest Iowa Bone, Joint, and Sports Surgeons have maintained one mission: to provide excellence in orthopedic care. Their team of 9 physicians offers specialized care in everything from arthroscopic same-day surgery to joint replacement, as well as hand and foot surgery, and have an orthopedic surgeon on call 24/7. Healthcare isn't about appointments, it's about taking care of people, and that's their specialty. Visit Northwest Iowa Bone, Joint, and Sports Surgeons on the web at nwiabone.com.
Where you bank matters. Hi, I'm Sherry Bacon at Security State Bank, and we're relationship bankers. We get to know our customers and understand their financial needs. We're locally owned and operated, which means family, community, and service always comes first. So come to Security State Bank. We'll treat you like family. Security State Bank in Algona, Burt, and Laverne. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Security State Bank.
It has been a blackout of the Bishop Garrigan offense so far. Newman Catholic leading 2-0 as we play in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Right now, Newman Catholic looking to add insurance runs with Colin Bliley, Thomas McGuire, and Adam Henrich scheduled to bat this inning. Bliley walked and reached on an error so far in this ball game, as he's been on twice. Also on a steal earlier, as Garrigan delivers. Brady Garrigan in the zone for a called strike, nothing in one. Brady Garrigan has bobbed, he has weaved, but he has kept Bishop Garrigan in this game. He's pitched well enough to win. Now the offense has to come through in the 7th, as that pitch is inside, and it will hit Bliley on the elbow. And I think they're going to say Bliley leaned into that one. Are they going to say he didn't make an effort to get out of the way of that pitch? I think they're going to keep Bliley at home plate. So you don't see that called a whole lot, but they're going to say he stuck out the elbow into the path of that pitch, and Bliley will not go to first base. So for now, Bishop Garrigan avoids the runner at first base, which is a welcome sign considering the runners that Newman's had on so far tonight. 1-1 count on Bliley. Here's the pitch by Garrigan. Fastball dips down low for a ball, 2-1 count. That was a curveball on the previous pitch that hit his front elbow. He does have an elbow guard there, so he wasn't in a huge hurry to get out of the way. There's a curveball that leans Bliley back, and the count goes to 3 balls and 1 strike. Garrigan, motion and the pitch. In there for a called strike. Count full at 3-2. If you add up the hit by pitches and walks, it's been 8 free passes so far today for Brady Garrigan, but he's only allowed 2 hits by Newman Catholic. As the 3-2 pitch, and just missed the zone. Bliley paused an extra second there at home plate on a close 3-2 offering, and Newman Catholic has a leadoff base runner on for the 5th time in 6 innings. And Bliley is a threat to run as he stole earlier this ball game.
Pinch hitter is number 19.
Pinch hitter now for Newman Catholic. Hudson Hensley will bat. The sophomore, 3 hits and 10 at-bats this season for Newman Catholic, as Hensley bats for Thomas McGuire, who is 0-2. So a big spot here for a pinch hitter. 2-0 already feels like a lot of the way that Newman Catholic is pitching, but you would love a 3rd run here if you're the Knights. Hensley takes. There's an off-speed offering by Garrigan, and Garrigan finds the zone to make it 0-1. So far, no runs, 3 hits for the Golden Bears, 2 runs, 2 hits for the Knights, and time called here at home plate as Coach Meister coming out to talk with the home plate umpire. So some potential confusion there. They called that pitch a ball, and Coach Meister getting an explanation of that. So it's actually a 1-0 count right now on Hensley, the pinch hitter, as Henrich's on deck and Eggers on the hole for Newman Catholic. There's been a little bit of lively banter between the coaches and the home plate umpires tonight as the 1-0 pitch in the dirt. That was tempting for Hensley as he got out on his front foot, but he didn't bring the bat for the zone as the count 2 balls and no strikes. Lear out in center field, slightly towards the left center field gap for Bishop Garrigan as the next pitch fouled back over the press box. That'll be a 2-1 count as Hensley got right after that. The Golden Bears and the Knights playing their annual non-conference game, always in the final couple weeks of the regular season. A good way to gear up for postseason action as the pitch is going to catch the outside corner on the fastball for a strike. 2-2 count. A lot of times this is a postseason preview, but like I said earlier, these teams could not meet the postseason unless it's at the state tournament, as that pitch is popped up in the air. Behind home plate, can Furch find it? Furch dives, and it's off his glove. Tate Furch will take an extra second to lay on the grass there after that diving attempt as he nearly got to that ball. That is a tough ball for the catcher to pick up, one that is not particularly high in the air, but it's right over your head. So you turn around, you try to find it in the sky, and then Furch got to the spot, but just couldn't hang on to that, as now he's got to readjust all his gear behind home plate. Good effort, though, by the Bishop Garrigan Jr., as the count is even 2-2. Newman Catholic got a scoreless inning from Keston after the 5 scoreless innings by Anderson to start the game, and now they have Thomas McGuire throwing in the bullpen. They've had a few different pitchers warm up throughout the course of this evening. Pick off to first base. Back into the head first dive is Colin Bliley, as the count 2-2 from Brady Garrigan. The motion in the pitch. Bliley's running. Pitches upstairs for a ball. Furch fires to second base. It's a good throw, but it's not quite in time. Bliley slides in head first, and he has his second stolen bag of the night. That'll take the double play out of the equation. And it's a 3-2 count right now for Newman Catholic on their batter, Hensley. Hudson Hensley awaiting the payoff pitch by Brady Garrigan. Strike 3 called! Breaking ball at the knees as Hensley was getting ready to throw the bat back to the dugout. Instead, he will carry it back to the dugout as that is out number 1 of the inning. Bliley still at second base. And Adam Henrich the batter. Henrich with a strikeout and a fly out to right field so far in today's game. Still a runner in scoring position, which is nothing new today for Newman Catholic. But much like Bishop Garrigan hasn't gotten the big hit, really neither has Newman Catholic today, They've just been able to scratch across a couple of runs. One on a double play and one on a steal attempt when the ball was thrown into center field, and that allowed the runner to come home from third. So the home plate umpire will restock with baseballs, and Henrich will step into the right-handed box. Runner at second, one out. Graves holds the runner. Pitch to Henrich is ripped foul territory left field side. That's one of the harder hit balls of the night, as that'll rattle around out there in the left field corner where the Newman Catholic batting cages are. Henrich was out in front of that off-speed offering as he smoked that one towards the corner. Garrigan will check the runner at second base. He'll throw a pickoff back there, and that one is not in time, as diving back in is Bliley. That throw was off to the second base side. That's a little more on the shortstop side. That is a bang-bang play at second, but throw just a bit off target there as Graves was covering the bag. The 0-1 pitch. Popped in the air, foul territory behind home plate. That one's going to get out of play. Count 0-2 on Henrich as Garrigan is able to work ahead. Garrigan has worked around all kinds of traffic tonight. Newman Catholic has had at least one base runner every inning, and many innings, multiple base runners, as the Knights lead it 2-0 over the Golden Bears. The Bishop Garrigan Sr. reloads for the 0-2 pitch. Popped up middle of the infield. Dan Mice, the shortstop, locating it in front of the bag at second base, and he squeezes it for the second out of the inning as Henrich is retired on the pop-out. Bliley still at second base, and once again can Garrigan squeeze out a little mini jam here. There was a runner at second base with nobody out. Now a runner at second base with 2 outs, and the number 9 hitter, Alec Egger. Egger with a ground out to first base and a walk so far today. And of course, we'll make the obligatory mention of that diving catch in left field that is looking bigger and bigger as this game goes on. A catch that took a run away from Bishop Garrigan on a blast by Nick Learer. The pitch to Egger. Egger watches that pitch up and away for a ball, 1-0 count. Well, regardless of how this game ends up, you're happy to see Brady Garrigan take it as far as he has for the Golden Bears. As you think about conference games later this week, Garrigan spins towards second base but doesn't make the throws. Bliley dives back in. Of course, Mother Nature permitting, you're looking at a game tomorrow against Garner-Havel Ventura, then a suspended game Thursday against Forest City, as Bliley is stealing. First throw to third base, and it's not in time. Bliley had Garrigan timed up perfectly, and he swipes the bag at third. Not a bad throw by Furch, but he picked a good pitch for the breaking ball, and not to mention, Garrigan looked, and Bliley knew that Garrigan was only going to look once, so he took off. The 1-1 to Egger. Egger ground ball towards shortstop. Mice is converging, and it's off his glove. It's off his glove, and Newman Catholic scores. 3-0 ball game. That ball took a tough hop off this infield grass, and the Knights get a big insurance run. Alec Egger able to push that one across to make it 3-0 in the top. Make it the bottom of the 6th inning.
Shake it off. Let's get it back, boys.
Well, that's one of those borderline plays. We will call that a hit, but that's a play you'd love to see be made if you're Bishop Garrigan. Garrigan with the delivery. Breaking ball in there for a strike on Cal McGuire. And that may be the deciding factor tonight. Just small things at the margins for Bishop Garrigan. Garrigan has pitched well, but a few too many walks. Free passes issued always come back to bite you as a pitcher, and then just a couple miscues defensively. Again, only one error on the scoreboard, but there have really been, I'd say, 3 defensive misplays by Bishop Garrigan as now Garrigan balks. Garrigan balks, and Egger will go to second base. And the misplays came in the 4th inning. There was that error by the third baseman, Deitering, as he tried to throw the ball to second base. There was a man at first, nobody out. Colin Bliley hit a ground ball to third base, and Deitering threw it into right. That was the first error of the game. Then in the first and third situation, Tate Furch, the catcher, tried to throw out a runner stealing second, but the ball got thrown into center field. That was the second miscue, and then that play you just saw there by Mice on that infield chopper. Again, we'll call that a hit because that's one of those borderline plays, and it was slowly hit, so it's maybe not routine, but that's another one where if you're Bishop Garrigan, against a team as good as Newman, you've got to turn that into an out. 0-1 count, runner at second. Garrigan with the high leg kick of the pitch. That one up and in, as the count goes to 1 ball and 1 strike here on Cal McGuire. Isaiah Keston on deck for Newman Catholic. 3-0 Knights, bottom of the 6th inning, as Garrigan checks the runner at second base. Graves dancing near the bag as the 1-1 pitch. In the dirt, blocked again by Tate Furch. Tate Furch is a brick wall there behind home plate, ladies and gents. There is not a whole lot getting by him. Outfield relatively shallow here for McGuire as Lear creeps in center. And that pitch is up for a ball, 3-1 count. And part of the reason you do that, 3-0 already feels like a lot, but on the ball hit to the outfield, you are really going to try to make a play on Egger at home plate if there's any possibility of getting him out. 3-1 pitch. Up high ball 4. Galligan will lose McGuire at another free pass issued by the Bishop Garrigan senior. So Newman Catholic is putting something together here of 2 outs. It'll be 2 on, 2 outs. And Isaiah Keston, who's reached a couple of times, he's walked twice and he's grounded out to third base. Started this game in center field. Pitched a scoreless 1-2-3 inning in the 6th for the Knights. Keston out of that narrowed batting stance. Flies the ball in the air. Shallow right field. Out is Graves, the second baseman. In come the outfielders. Here comes Lear racing into the gap and making the grab. Nick Lear puts Keston away, and Newman Catholic will settle for 1 run in the 6th. Last chance time for the Golden Bears coming up next. Newman Catholic leading at 3-0 on Hometown Radio KLGA and at the Algona Radio YouTube live stream.
For over 40 years, Northwest Iowa bone, joint, and sports surgeons have maintained one mission: to provide excellence in orthopedic care. Their team of 9 physicians offers specialized care in everything from arthroscopic same-day surgery to joint replacement, as well as hand and foot surgery, and have an orthopedic surgeon on call 24/7. Healthcare isn't about appointments, it's about taking care of people, and that's their specialty. Visit Northwest Iowa Bone, Joint, and Sports Surgeons on the web at nwiabone.com. When you need cash on the go, there's no need to pay a surcharge fee with MoneyPass. Iowa State Bank is proud to be part of the MoneyPass network of surcharge-free ATMs found nationwide. Look for the green and blue MoneyPass symbol on over 32,000 ATMs across the nation. Or find an ATM near your vacation spot or travel destination at moneypass.com. MoneyPass, another way that Iowa State Bank helps people succeed. Member FDIC.
Hey Golden Bear fans, this is Brady Galligan, and you're listening to Bishop Garrigan Baseball on KLGA.
Newman Catholic has queued up the Edwin Diaz music as Isaiah Keston's on the mound right now trying to close it out for a save for the Newman Catholic Knights. This inning he'll face 4, 5, and 6 in the batting order of Brady Galligan, Nick Lear, and Aiden Deitering scheduled to bat for the Golden Bears. Right now 3-0 in favor of Newman Catholic. It was an excellent outing tonight by Brady Galligan, gritting his way through this ballgame in spite of some command issues throughout, but he held Newman Catholic to 3 runs. He pitched well enough to win, but the offense so far has been blanked by Newman Catholic's pitching staff. It was 5 scoreless innings from Jace Anderson, and now Isaiah Keston trying to add a second scoreless inning as he's in line for the save here if he can finish off Bishop Garrigan in the 7th.
And to play first base is number 18, Trayton Elwood.
New first baseman for Newman Catholic, the senior Trayton Elwood takes over at first. So Elwood now to first base. And Keston will go back to work after working a 1-2-3-6 against the 1, 2, and 3 hitters in the Bishop Garrigan batting order. Newman Catholic is trying to move to 20-0 against Bishop Garrigan dating back to 2010 with a win here tonight. There have been some close games in that. There have been some blowouts, but the Knights have been just a thorn in the Bishop Garrigan side over the years. Pitch by Keston, and he will find the zone on the fastball. Called strike to Brady Galligan, who has been on base twice, 2 for 2 for a pair of singles, 2 out of the 3 Bishop Garrigan hits so far tonight. The other hit by Drew Moeller. 0-1 pitch. Downstairs for a ball. 1-1 count. There's nothing flashy about what Brady Galligan is doing at the plate, but you look at the box scores and you're just seeing 2 for 4, 2 for 3, 2 for 4, up and down, game after game as that pitch is up and in for a ball. Leans Galligan back and the count goes to 2-1. It may not be the traditional power-hitting number 4 hitter, but it's bat on ball and it's production for Bishop Garrigan. Keston behind in the count 2-1 as he comes to the plate. Lost command of that one, sailed it way up high for a ball, and Galligan works ahead, 3 balls and 1 strike. Golden Bears in big-time need of base runners right now, trailing 3-0 against Newman Catholic, as base runners have been in short supply tonight. Keston hands chest high, 3-1 pitch. Galligan pops that foul back behind home plate, and the count will run full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Just approaching the 9 o'clock hour here on Hometown Radio KLGA Algona, 92.7 FM, and at the Algona Radio YouTube stream. Top of Iowa East versus top of Iowa West. Both teams winning their conference title last year as the 3-2 pitch. Galligan an emergency hack at home plate. Boy, was that a late swing, but he fouled it off, and the count will stay full at 3-2. The next pitch will be number 7 of the at-bat from Isaiah Keston. Galligan back into that right-handed box. Choked up on the bat now. Keston's 3-2 pitch. Foul back again by Brady Galligan. He's engaging in a battle to start off this inning. He may be the number 4 hitter, but this is a leadoff man type of at-bat. Trying to break through against Isaiah Keston. It's Lear and Deitering after Galligan. The payoff again. Downstairs, ball 4. He missed down and away, and what a plate appearance that was for Brady Garrigan. I believe that was 8 pitches he saw, and now it's a runner at first. Nobody out for the Golden Bears. But they still need more base runners here, down 3-0. Nick Lear, who really had the only hard-hit ball of the game for Bishop Garrigan, but was robbed on a diving catch in left field his last time up coming to the plate. Lear over 2 for that fly out to left field, and a strikeout tonight. Had that homer yesterday against Eagle Grove. He would take that jolt of electricity right now. Garrigan moderate lead at first base, as Keston always works from the stretch, so he will continue just like that. Hands head high this time, slide step in the pitch. And that one is just a bit outside, off the black, and the count 1 ball and no strikes on Nick Lear. That's a big 6'6" strike zone to aim for Lear. As Garrigan leads off of first base, held on by Elwood. The 1-0 pitch. Lear out in front on that one. Out on the front foot as he swings and misses, and the count evens up 1 ball and 1 strike. Bishop Garrigan's first base dugout making some noise. Down to our right, trying to encourage this team to a 7th-inning rally. They did it Friday night. Can they do it tonight against Newman? 1-1 pitch. That one's going to find the zone. Outside part of the plate, and a count 1 ball, 2 strikes against Nick Lear as he leaned out over the plate to take a look at that one. Now he's in protect mode. The big righty back into the box. Keston's 1-2 pitch. Lear fouls that one back, and will do it again if a 1-2 count. Senior on senior matchup with Keston battling against Lear. Newman Catholic straight up in the outfield. Egger out in left field is backed up a couple of steps after that last plate appearance by Nick Lear. The flag out in left now limp after blowing in earlier tonight. Keston checks the runner at first base. The 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball up above the head of Lear, who ducks down low, and the count evens 2 balls and 2 strikes. Boy, he committed early on that one, too. You worry sometimes that the ball might come back over the plate, although that one didn't. And the count even 2 balls and 2 strikes as Lear tries to continue this battle against Keston. The Newman Catholic senior, slightly to the first base side of the rubber, brings the 2-2. Lear flies that in the air pretty deep towards left field. Egger going back. Egger in front of the warning track, and Egger pulls that one down. Garrigan goes back to first base as Lear got some good aluminum on that ball, but once again he flies out to left, and that is the first out of the inning recorded by Keston. I would qualify that as the second hard hit ball of the night for Bishop Garrigan, but again, both hard hit balls have resulted in outs. Just 3 hits tonight for the Golden Bears against the Newman Catholic pitching of Jace Anderson and Isaiah Keston. So 1 on 1 out. Aiden Deitering for the Golden Bears now. Right-handed hitting third baseman. Pick off to first base. Garrigan dives back in. Played nicely on the backhand by Elwood to prevent that ball from being thrown away into this big foul territory at Newman Catholic High School. 3-0 in favor of the Knights, just past this 9 o'clock hour. Here's the stretch and the pitch. Deitering line drive towards right field. Over the glove of the second baseman, Henrich into right field. Hustling to second, and diving in there is Garrigan as the ball got thrown off target. Garrigan had to pause there because he wasn't sure if Henrich, the second baseman, would catch that. If Henrich makes the catch, he could try to double Garrigan off at first, but once it got through, the right fielder, Vasky, charged in and had a play on Garrigan at second, but on the bang-bang play, the ball was thrown wide of the bag, and it got away, allowing Garrigan to reach safely. So Deitering has just the 4th hit of the ball game for the Golden Bears. A nice early count, opposite field approach, just inside outing that ball to right field. And now it'll be Caden Graves. Graves will bat for Nick Lear, or he'll bat for Nate Lear, excuse me. Graves, the junior, 5 for 36 at the dish this season as Keston wants to talk things over with Peterson. Well, this makes things a little interesting now in the 7th inning. Golden Bears bring the tying run to the plate with Graves right now and Moeller on deck. You've got to string a few hits together here to produce some runs for the Golden Bears. Not easy to do against Newman Catholic, but so far this inning, Golden Bears working deep into the counts the first couple of batters, and then Deitering jumping on that early pitch of the opposite field base hit. Considerable more energy on the first base dugout now. Keston with the high leg kick and the pitch, and that one's at the letters for a called strike to Graves. He didn't want that one on the first pitch as the count goes to 0-1. Golden Bears get back to conference play. It's Garner Hayfield Ventura tomorrow, Forest City in the suspended game on Thursday, and North Union on Friday. 0-1 pitch. Graves with a late cut in the miss. He was behind on that one as the count goes to 0-2 against the Bishop Garrigan Jr. Moeller, the senior, on deck. And Keston has worked ahead once again. The Newman Catholic senior has the 0-2 count. 2 runners on base with 1 out. as he delivers. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Keston puts away Graves with a high heat, and Bishop Garrigan is down to their final out. It'll be in the form of Drew Moeller, who's 1 for 2 today with a ground at second base and a ground ball single into center field. Still Galligan at second base, Dietering at first base, and a 3-0 Newman Catholic lead. Trying to break this modest 2-game win streak of the Golden Bears as the Knights look to pick up win number 15 of the season. The next delivery, Moeller with a swing and a foul tip at home plate into the glove of Peterson as the count is 0-1. Newman Catholic has won at least 30 games, 15 of the last 16 seasons, if you exclude the 2020 COVID season when they went 19-6 in that shortened schedule. 0-1 count right now on Moeller. Keston comes to the plate. Nasty breaking ball, back foot to Moeller as he swings and misses, and the count is 0-2. Bishop Garrigan down to the last strike. The Newman Catholic players leaning over the third base dugout railing, waving the hats in front of them as Keston tries to work a save here and get the win for Anderson, the starting pitcher. Keston sets, hands head high. 0-2 pitch, breaking ball dribble towards first base, and that one is going to stay foul, and will do it again if an 0-2 count. Keston saw the swing of Moeller going after the previous breaking ball, so tried to go back to the breaking ball well, but that one stayed considerably higher as he dribbled that one foul territory. And we will do it again with a 0-2 count. Cole Ash on deck. Bishop Garrigan back against the wall right now as Moeller choked up a couple inches on the bat. Keston's 0-2. Sailed the fastball up high for a ball, 1-2 count. Good showy pitch there. What if a few breaking balls in a row to Moeller and then tried to speed him up there with the fastball, but didn't get him to chase the high heat. Keston working, and he'll step off the mound. It's Galligan at second base, Dietering at first base. The Newman Catholic infield really not bothering to hold either runner on, as the man at the plate is what matters right now with Drew Moeller. Those runners on base do not matter right now for a 3-0 game. The next pitch, swing and a miss for strike 3. Keston powered it past him, and the Golden Bears are going to drop this one tonight. 3-0 against Newman Catholic. A masterful pitching performance by the Knights. And once again, Bishop Garrigan trips over the Newman Catholic stumbling block. As the final in this one, 3-0. Knights will move to 15-5 on the season. Golden Bears will drop to 10-6. We will step aside for a timeout, and we'll wrap it up with final stats and analysis after this on Hometown Radio KLGA and at the Algona Radio YouTube live stream.
For over 40 years, Northwest Iowa bone, joint, and sports surgeons have maintained one mission: to provide excellence in orthopedic care. Their team of 9 physicians offers specialized care in everything from arthroscopic same-day surgery to joint replacement, as well as hand and foot surgery, and have an orthopedic surgeon on call 24/7. Healthcare isn't about appointments, it's about taking care of people, and that's their specialty. Visit Northwest Iowa Bone, Joint, and Sports Surgeons on the web at nwiabone.com.
High school sports on Hometown and Home Country Radio, brought to you by these fine sports club members.
AK's Chrome Kitchen. When you come in, your family.
Farmers State Bank is proud to be part of our community. Offices in Algona, Whittemore, and West Bend.
Stroman Dental, giving you something to smile about.
Bill's Auto and Truck Repair. Service is the difference.
Trend Salon, your complete family hair salon. It's all about you.
Oak Crest Funeral Services, celebrating a life lived.
All bringing you this game on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
Thank you to these sports club members bringing you this game on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
Good Samaritan Society, Algona's senior housing and services rooted in God's love.
Feed Mill Coffee Company, Algona's locally owned coffee shop.
Tangle Salon for all your cuts, colors, hair extensions, and massage therapy needs.
Schindler Lawn Care and Landscaping, 515-320-3840.
All bringing you this ball game.
More sports club members.
Lusher Family Dentistry, serving your family since 1965 on Call Street in Algona.
Algona Plumbing and Heating, where a good flush beats a full house.
Kasuth Regional Health Center, your home for health care.
Walker Chiropractic and Wellness, caring for Algona, Sway City, and surrounding areas with chiropractic, nutritional, and physical therapy services.
Reeves Wicked Good Bar and Grill, for wicked good food, drinks, and service, you gotta go to Reeves.
High Point Land Company, your trusted land partner in Algona.
All bringing you this game on the radio.
Back Back here to wrap things up from Newman Catholic High School on Hometown Radio KLGA and at the Algona Radio YouTube live stream. Final score tonight, Newman Catholic 3 and Bishop Garrigan nothing, and the frustrations against these Newman Catholic Knights continue for the Golden Bears. They are now 0-20 against Newman Catholic, dating back to 2010, and once again, the Knights have Bishop Garrigan saying Newman underneath their breath. It was an offensive blackout tonight for the Golden Bears. Great pitching in this ball game by Newman Catholic, and the final stats are going to bear that out. Your final stat line looked like this. For Bishop Garrigan, no runs, 4 hits, 1 error, and 3 runners left on base. Actually, make that 5 runners left on base, beg your pardon, for the Golden Bears if you account for that last inning. So I'll do that one more time. No runs, 4 hits, 1 error, and 5 left on base tonight for the Golden Bears. For the Newman Catholic Knights, 3 runs, 3 hits, no errors, and 8 left aboard base. There just were not a whole lot of opportunities to be had tonight for Bishop Garrigan, and part of that was the excellent pitching of Jace Anderson and Isaiah Keston. Anderson gets the win tonight. He evens his record at 2-2 as Anderson throws 5 solid innings, did not allow any runs, and only gave up 3 hits as he walked 1 and struck out 7 batters. Isaiah Keston gets the save in this ball game in his first pitching appearance of the season. Keston goes the final 2 innings as he walked 1 and struck out 2. He allowed 1 hit but did not give up any runs as he stranded 2 runners on base in that final inning as he fanned back-to-back batters of Caden Graves and Drew Mahler to end this one in a Newman Catholic victory. With the win, the Knights improved to 15-5 on the season. Bishop Garrigan has their modest 2-game win streak come to an end as they will drop to 10-6 and lose this one here tonight against Newman Catholic and get ready for hopefully a game tomorrow against Garner-Hayfield Ventura, weather permitting. Like I said, though, it was a battle tonight. Brady Galligan went 6 innings in this ball game. He'll take the loss, but this is one of those games where you don't put the loss totally on the pitcher because he certainly pitched well enough to win this ball game. There was just not a lot of production to be had for the Golden Bear offense. Galligan tonight throws 6 innings. He did walk 7 batters and hit 3 of a pitch, so that's essentially 10 free base runners for Newman Catholic, but he worked around those guys, only gave up 3 hits. He allowed those 3 runs, and Brady Galligan's record now 3-3, although like I said, that's a tough loss to take. If you had gone into this game as a Bishop Garrigan fan and said, we're going to hold Newman Catholic to 3 runs tonight, I think you would have signed up for that instantly. That was a good, solid 6-inning outing by Brady Galligan here today, but the Bishop Garrigan lineup just did not threaten Newman Catholic a whole lot. You had a couple of 1, 2, 3 innings, 3 of them on the night out of the 7 times up to bat. Only twice today did Bishop Garrigan have more than 1 runner on in the same inning. Their best scoring opportunity came in the 4th. Bishop Garrigan came into that inning at the top of the 4th trailing 1-0, and they had a chance to tie the game after Dan Mice, the leadoff batter, struck out. It was a walk by Carter Schwab and a single by Brady Galligan that put runners at 1st and 3rd, but Galligan would be caught stealing second base, and then Nick Lear blasted a fly ball to left field where Alec Egger made a diving catch for Newman Catholic, saving at least a double and possibly a triple, and it certainly saved a run. Newman Catholic held on to their 1-0 lead, and after that, they added a couple of insurance runs throughout the course of the game. But Galligan worked around a lot of trouble. He was able to force 2 double plays tonight. One was an unconventional 4-6-3 double play in the first inning. That was the more conventional one, I should say, and then the unconventional one came in the 4th on a pop out to shortstop where the runner got doubled off of second base. Newman Catholic got caught in a hit and run on that play and resulted in another double play. But all throughout the night, you just like to see your senior battle. He didn't have his best command, maybe not his best stuff here tonight, but it's a night where he battled and made the best of what he had, and that, like I said, is a really, really good outing for Brady Galligan against a state-ranked 1A Newman Catholic team. You're still looking for that consistency for the Bishop Garrigan offense. Of course, tonight you say we faced some really good pitching for Newman Catholic, but the ups and downs do continue for this Bishop Garrigan lineup, and over the final couple weeks of the regular season, you're really looking to see just we need to be able to sign ourselves up for 5 to 6 to 7 runs on a consistent night-to-night basis. We don't want to have these highs and lows where it's kind of a roller coaster ride for the offense. You're just really looking for more consistency up and down the lineup. I think that's been the functional word throughout the course of the season. The good news today is Bishop Garrigan, they did not strike out a ton against Newman Catholic. They kept that K total underneath 10, which that's been a bugaboo this season for the Golden Bears. So balls are in play, but really Nick Lear's 2 flouts left field were only 2 hard hit balls tonight, as Anderson and Keston did a good job of pitching to contact and inducing a lot of weak contact for the Golden Bears. So like I said, coming up tomorrow night, Bishop Garrigan's baseball team takes on Garner-Hayfield Ventura, assuming Mother Nature allows us to have that game. If she does, we're going to have softball action for you tomorrow as the Bishop Garrigan softball team will get underway at 6 against the Cardinals of Garner-Hayfield Ventura. We'll have coverage of that game beginning around 5:50 on KLGA 92.7 and here on the Algona Radio YouTube live stream. So you can tune in for that. And again, Mother Nature permitting, the next Bishop Garrigan baseball game we will have, that'll be a noon start time on Thursday as Bishop Garrigan resumes a game against Forest City. They were leading 5-1 in the 3rd inning when it got delayed by rain. So we will resume that game on Thursday on KLGZ Home Country Radio 98.5 FM at AM 1600 with video streaming here on the Algona Radio YouTube channel. So that's the next couple of days for Bishop Garrigan and for our Golden Bear coverage, but that'll do it here for tonight. The Golden Bears fight, but they come up short against Newman Catholic. Knights win this one by a final count of 3-0. One final thank you to our video streaming sponsors before we sign off for this one. Chem the Auto Center, where it's not about the car. It's not just about the car, it's about the care. Algona Municipal Utilities, community-owned for community benefit. Iowa State Bank, helping people succeed. Algona Frame and Auto Body, we meet by accident. And PMC Advantage Insurance Services, having the advantage makes all the difference. This has been a sports production of Hometown Radio KLGA and the Algona Radio YouTube stream. Once again, your final score tonight, Newman Catholic 3 and Bishop Garrigan 0.